Samara. Hey, Akira. Fluffy. To today's readings of the red and the green flags of the idols, celebrities in relationships. I got inspired by this deck that it's one that I had shown you actually, guys, on a live stream. Is the Tarot of Oppositions. I believe when I bought it, or when I bought it a long time ago, but one day I showed it on a live stream and we talked about it. We talked about the duality. So I was reflecting like that it's been a while since I used this, because it's so, like, the images are opposites. Like, definitely it's like the light attribute or the bright attribute and the dark attribute of a card. But also it's like, it's a beautiful deck, but at the same time it's so hard sometimes to just show the duality, because it has to be upside down like this. And there's not enough room also in the card. Like, there's something about the design of this deck that I'm like, I wish it was different. Like, I love the images. I think that they are very well made when it comes to the not so bright attribute of the reversal, maybe like the reverse side or the opposite side of a card is very well managed. But I wish there was more space in the card to. I think that this could be one of these decks that I remember there was one that they had, like, the cards that were like the shadow, you had a different cards, and then you have separated like the light attributes of the card, and it was all one deck, a deck that actually had like a lot of cards. It had a lot of cards, but I don't know why about this one. I feel like, hey Marushka, I don't know. I feel like yeah, it shows a bit the dark side, but I feel like something is missing. I feel like something is missing. Maybe because there's not much space. So you mean the images are blending too much with each other and it's confusing? Like, I think that probably is the format of them cutting the card in the middle. Like, cutting it in the middle like this. I'm like, I'm not convinced. But well, we do have to give it a use. So yes, this is why I decided to bring them, and also because since some of us had been watching Netflix Japanese dating show that is called The Boyfriend, that it ended a few days ago. I mean, it's still available on Netflix if you guys want to watch it. It's really cool. So I'm going to be reading for the final couples. So if you don't want to be spoiled, please don't watch this. Like, come back later, maybe some other day, because I'm going to be reading for the final couples. And since there was a lot of situation of green flags and red flags, I think that is very interesting to see the duality, how dual we are in connections, in relationships. And let's not even like add, if you're talking about someone that is famous, probably like there's much drama in there, like, I don't know. Because we could all have red flags at some point in connections, and I think that is valid to show the both sides of this, because it's human. And we also, everyone that gets into a relationship is like a huge lesson. It's a huge lesson for you. It's a huge lesson. You don't get to know yourself deep until you are in a committed relationship with someone, or not committed, until you are in a bond with someone, and you react and act towards that person, and whatever they do and say, it impacts you so intensely, like you cannot help it. And sometimes it does bring out the ugliest side of ourselves. Like, it doesn't matter if you were raised like a saint, you can be a demon in a relationship. You can be like behind closed doors, you can be a spoiled brat, and you can be like or you can be a devoted, very permissive and passive lover as well. It depends on also what the person brings, what they make you feel. But yeah, we learn a lot about ourselves in connections. So I wonder if you were to participate in these sort of dating shows, if you have to relive and rewatch what you have done in there, if you would be so proud of how you showed yourself in there. Because I'm sure most of us would embarrass ourselves in front of the camera, because I'm very self-aware, and I would be like, I would also be a bit toxic with the person that I find attractive. Yeah, and then I would feel guilty, of course. Then I would be like, oh no, my God, I shouldn't be like that, but yeah. Yes, it's so much better, Fluffy. So much better. Like, for me, possessed love, honestly, no. Possessed love, I'm so disappointed. Like, I don't know. No. Like, I'm so disappointed. I think I'm the opposite. I'm usually a brat, but I use my brain more so if I decide to commit. Yeah, I think that it depends on what the other person tends to bring out of you. Because usually I'm also like, I see myself as someone very much in control, like very much in control with my emotions and everything. But when I like someone or when I'm interested in someone, usually I tend to get very erratic. Like I tend to, I was watching, we were talking about this specific participant on the house that is, his name is Shun, and he is a bit much, a bit much. He has his background, he has his past, he has his trust issues, but my God, that the guy is, he just, you want to pull out your hair by watching him. You're like, why are you doing this? But then I was talking to Samara and I was like, I realized that the reason why I feel so triggered by him is because he reminds me of a younger self. Like he reminds me of me. Especially when I used to get upset or get mad at my partners, like whatever they did that I didn't approve of, I would just go silent, I would ignore them, I would just walk away, or I would just leave them, and they would have to chase me, or I would have to chase them. So yeah, it was drama. So probably seeing him is like easier to sort of like project and be like, oh no, look what he's doing, he's so toxic. But aren't we all like 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 we have to do some self-reflection. We cannot be pointing fingers because we have never been like recorded like like on camera to see how we get when we don't get what we want, or when the person that we find attractive or that we like is not giving us what we want. Definitely it shows their age also and the level of maturity that they have. But yeah, he's peculiar, he's very interesting. Yeah, you're back, Marushka. Shun and I would fight. Yeah, I think that there were moments when we all wanted to fight Shun. We were like, what are you doing? Like, I mean, I tend to get like that, petty, like him. But I wait to be alone with the person. I don't do it in front of others because I don't want the other people or people around me to see what is going on. They can have their suspicion, but I will never be like, oh no, today I don't want to be next to this person. No, I wouldn't get the others involved. But maybe it also has to do with that they are recording a show and they have to live together. So probably you're going to feel the tension, you're going to feel it more. And it's also part of the dynamic. It's also part of the dynamic. This is why sometimes another contestant or someone is going to get in the middle because it's happening in front of their noses. So it affects the dynamic of the group. Even though you can think like, oh, this is something between that person and me. No, because if you do it like and everyone notices and suddenly the atmosphere changes, it's not private anymore. Like a shirt. I have to make like a shirt with a shirt with that logo, with that phrase. Like, I got mad because of a shirt. I'm pointing fingers. I'm not big on commitment. I admit I struggle to get there, but if I enter it, I don't back up. Yeah, that's actually, yeah, that's the spirit actually, Danya. To when once you are there, you have to, you know. For me also to decide if I want to be with the person, I have to observe the person a lot. Like I have to spend time with them. Like for me, um, like I usually, it's not that I take my time, but I have to have certain conversations or interactions before. I don't like to be rushed. I don't like someone to make the decision for me, so I'm very cautious about this. But once I make my decision, even if I'm not telling you that, yeah, I'm committed to you, I show you with actions that I'm here for you. So it means I care. Um, so yeah, for me, it's like once I like someone, I tend to stick around, even though I can get upset or I can have my differences, but I'm willing to work them out. Once I love is for life. Even if I break up and I'm with someone else, they will all be all my love shelf. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know about the other shows that I believe that they also are dating shows. I don't know if this is like the first gay show or dating show on Netflix. I believe for Japan it is, so it's important. But I read people that they are commenting about Terrace House. I believe I saw it on Netflix. I saw like it came up on my recommendation, but I never watched it because for me, there's something about Korean dating. In this case, I watched the Japanese one, and I did enjoy it. But the Korean one, it gets on my nerves. It gets on my nerves. Like this is why I'm like. Singles Inferno, I did enjoy season 1. Then the other ones I didn't enjoy because it's like, yeah, they're beautiful, yeah, they're this, they're that, yeah, the body, yeah, what they're wearing, but their personalities suck. Their personalities suck. Like they don't have personality. They don't show emotions. So for me, it's like it's all like I don't know if it's like a show of 8 episodes. Like 6 of them are going to be filled with miscommunication, misinterpretation, like something happened and someone like saw it differently than the other and they keep being silent about it and they keep ignoring each other. Like I don't like that. I don't like that. Like I don't know, maybe it's because I'm from a different culture where we are much more like passionate about certain things. Like if there's something that I don't like about you, I tell you to your face. Or if you don't like something about me, I'm open to listen to you and to also like work it out. But for them, it's like I find them so boring, like so. And also people like praise the final couples on the end game couples, like they call them. They congratulate them for this tiniest moments of affection or consideration. And also when they have to choose, they also choose from a place of pity, I would say. Like, oh yeah, the other one that I actually liked, he treated me very poorly. So yeah, I will go with you because you sound like a safe option. And that I don't find it romantic. I don't think that they're romantic. They're not romantic at all. They're not romantic at all. Like I understand that physical appearance maybe is important, and also physical, like them seeing someone beautiful and being like, whoa. But all of them put all their eggs in one basket just because that person is superficially beautiful, and they follow around that person like a puppy, wasting the potential of actually getting to know other interesting people in the house or wherever they are. I don't know. I just don't like them. I become horribly manipulative Cancer Moon using psychology against my partner, but for that they have to push seriously my mental balance. Yeah, I would never date a Cancer Moon again. No, 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 I don't like them. But it's true about the manipulation. It's true. I read as Libras we are only indecisive about things we don't care. And I think it's absolutely true. But that's my recommendation to keep in mind about Libras. My red flag is being paranoid and controlling. Same, Fluffy, same. Same. Singles Inferno 3 was fun. People were so arrogantly confident it was entertaining to watch. Yeah, I believe I did watch the first one. Yeah, with this guy, with the basketball player. Oh my god. Yeah, but I did watch that. Oh, I remember it was the last one I watched. I watched the season 1 and season 3. Is it season 3? The last one is 3 or is 4? My red flag is that if I make my mind, you should suffer and pay for something, I won't go back. I use psychology to see if it's going okay. Ah. It was free with the basketball player. Ah, okay. Yeah. Yeah, and that I know that there's probably is the second one that I didn't watch. That this guy came out of this. This guy that now has his YouTube channel, and I believe he also participated in some movies, and he's everywhere. The one that said that Sana was his ideal type. What was his name? This contestant that he got very. He was also in the panel in season 3. Mm. Yeah, that's why I didn't watch it. I didn't finish it because for me it was copy paste. They were trying really hard. Dex. Yeah, I don't know what's the appeal about that man. Honestly, like I don't get it. I don't get it. Why he's everywhere? Like I wonder what he did because I didn't watch the season that he was in. So maybe he did something great and I didn't watch it. But for me, he's not my type. He's not the guy that would be like, oh wow, he's cute. No. Really? Okay. Okay. Oh, hey, Chachalino. I should be more controlling, but no, I'm like, we're all free, responsible for our own decisions. Yeah, do your own thing and don't be clingy. But sometimes basic rules and some men need guidance more. Yeah. No, but if that's your taste, of course, Akira. Like if that's if you like him, yeah. Yeah, of course, because for taste we are all different. What if we all like or feel attraction for the same kind of person? I think that if we have differences, it's the better. But for me, it's more like, what did he do in his season that he got all these opportunities later? Because usually the singles Inferno, especially what happened to Gia, that she got into this scandal, then the guys in the show and the others, they vanished. I mean, to what I've seen, maybe I'm actually not that, like, aware of their activities. Maybe they are influencers and I don't know. But Dex is that singles Inferno person that I noticed that he probably had done a great work because he's actually even in the panel. So when I saw him, I was like, what did he do? Like, because I'm not watching his season, because like, I'm like, what is it about him and not another member? I don't know. Maybe he was very popular between the ladies. I only positively remember the guy from season 3 that works in a shop that owns guy from season 1. No. They're all connected. They are all connected. They are all like long distance cousins. Because Korea is that small, you know. I don't even think anyone has same biases here or like same guys. Yeah, thank God. Yeah. So because we will be fighting. If we like the same people, we will be fighting. I know. I know. Like usually when some people are very possessive of their biases, especially when they call them my husband or my hubby, I'm like, yeah, like even I can like maybe the same, but I'm like, if for you is important, you take him, like you claim him. I'm not going to, you know, show that much interest. Because there's people that are very possessive over their biases. It's like only they can talk about, what they like. They're very jealous also. Mm. He's a Gemini. I just Googled him, makes sense you like him. Ah. You talking about military guy? Ah, was he in the military? That's right. Yeah, it's so cool seeing all the different tastes, actually. He got popular with girls. After the show, he was hanging out with Adin and made people hype for their possible relationship. So he's like networking his journey to fame. And I believe that that's very smart. Yeah, because honestly, like for me, some singles inferno people, they just disappear. Like I haven't heard from them. And even if I did, I would be like, if they're from like very past seasons, I would be like, who? Nadine, I do remember. I do remember Nadine. Actually, the first time that I watched something of him was when he had his show, and he invited Sana in it. And she was sort of flirting with him and making him nervous. That's the first time I saw him. Then when I watched Singles Inferno Free, I was like, oh, there he is again. It's the same guy. But I didn't understand because I remember that Sana also in that interview, she would tell him something about what he did in the show. And since I didn't watch the season, I didn't know what scene she was talking about. But I guess they were talking about flirting styles, I guess. But yeah, I'm a bit lost. I used to call Mingyu my hubby as an inside joke with my friends, but he became ex-hubby after I saw your readings about him. No! Why? He being surrounded by women. Yeah, it's just that he's so wanted. Like energetically, it feels like this. And for me, that's very healthy because he is a very popular man. Like, like. Actually, like I prefer a man like him that he's very popular with the ladies and not so much like the ones that act like they are shy and like, oh, I never been with someone, and then you hear a scandal of them being abusive or just having this weird dynamic with females. No, I prefer to hear from the idols experience. Like I don't want to know who they're dating, but if they dated before, I feel safe. I'm like, I like it that my bias has like some history in dating because that of them acting like angels, I'm like, I don't know if I buy it that they have no. Like I don't want to know the details, but I think that it's okay when they normalize talking about their crushes, their type, or who they find attractive, or their ideal future with someone. I think that it makes them more human than actually the idols that they act like, oh no, I'm devoted to my fans only. I often call my biases my man, especially when Vanessa started reading my man Hyun Jay, but it's just around, yeah. Listen, do you remember how I got possessive over Hongjoong and he's like number 14 in my bias list? And how I got surprised by that. Vanessa, you saw Cristian Nodal and Angela Aguilar get married. I saw pictures edited of her as JYP with the white dress. No, I didn't see it, but I know about them. I know about Cristian Nodal and Angela Aguilar. I follow someone. I believe it's a YouTuber. It's called. Her channel is called El Mundo de Andy. I believe she's Mexican, but she lives in the U.S. But she makes all her videos like in Spanish. And just because I love to see her, I like the way she narrates like stories, but also I like how she curses, because we Latin people, we have different words for cursing. We don't use the same. So sometimes when we hear someone from another country sort of saying like an offensive word, we don't understand unless we hear them every day and we're like, oh, that means this. But I like her. I know, and he should get some, but then there's no space to be the Lulu about it. I saw Mingyu got in a scandal rumor not so long ago involving women. Oh, I told you, because he's surrounded by them. So, like, at some point, people are going to start to make stories about it. Like, about him actually going towards the women. But no, the women follow him around. They sort of like spy on him, or I don't know. They seem to be cornering him all the time. So... And he's so friendly that he doesn't do anything about it because he doesn't believe in restricting people and being like unpleasant. But you know, sometimes if they take pictures or if there's other people like watching, they are going to come up with their own version. So yeah, I feel for Mingyu. Yes, Mingyu relationships in Tarot are complicated. That's because he practically lives in a club. I mean, who wouldn't live in a club at that age? I think that is like, is the time of your life to be at a club. But yeah, I believe that idols should have their own clubs. But at the same time, talking about certain scandal, I don't want to mention idol and club because in Korea it sounds like it's a bit fishy. We know what happened. Things hasn't been the same ever since. So yeah, idols and clubbing, but they could have their personal time. I don't know. I just think that whoever finds evidence or pictures or something are going to judge them anyways. So, you know, they always lose. Never trust the innocent act. It's almost fake. Some idols actually said it too. Don't remember who. Maybe it was someone for SHINee or some other second gen group. Yeah, I think I heard about it too. I'm gonna send you some memes. Okay. They're so talented. I love his music, but I can't with him acting like my dad. With a face and body like that, he would be followed by women no matter the country. Yes. Because he has that masculine, he has that vibe. It's not about him being an idol, actually. It's just that he's attractive as a man. Taemin, in Japanese interview, they asked him about women he likes through the View promotion, and he said he likes dangerous women, and members started beating him. Then he said he liked cute and innocent. No, have you seen that video of Mingyu in Italy being checked out by a woman in the shop? By the way, do you know if her mom is Argentinian? Because she claims to be Argentinian. Really? That woman is Argentinian? I think I heard, but I always get them confused, Akira. I will have to look for it. Because there's some, like, I'm not that into the Latin singers of this era since I'm not that young and I only listen to K-pop. Like, I don't know much about the Latin scene. I know there's some people, it's just that they wear these weird accents that sometimes when they sing, you're like, what are you from? Like, what are you even? Um, but I'm going to have to look for it because, yeah, there's another one also. I believe that her name is another singer that I believe her name is Nati Peluso. That she is Argentinian, but she sings in an accent as if she was Spanish. So when they do that, it's so confusing. I don't understand them. I don't understand them. Neither their music. Um, he's tall and handsome. Who wouldn't say no to that? Friendly with manners. Mingyu is attractive at international level. Like even women who don't like Asian men will turn after him for sure. Yeah, I'm like, every time I look at Mingyu, I'm like, he doesn't look like the typical Asian man. He is a mix. He's a mix. She was born in the US. Her dad is Mexican. We know him, but during the World Cup, she said, like, okay. Wow. Also, like, not to bring out like the controversy because I know that my bias is in hot waters at the moment, and of course I don't support nor condemn what happened. I mean, it's what he said. It was very unfortunate, but it's what he said. But we were talking with somebody that he had a brief moment. I don't know if you guys seen Utah at KCON, that he said hi to I always want to call her Sumni, but it's not Sumni, it's Somi. Somi. So we were like, well, I was like, what are they? Like, are they friends? You know, because usually my bias is so antisocial. Like, he doesn't say hi to people, actually, or to other idols. Mostly it's other idols that come to say hi to him. So he looked very excited to see her. So I wonder what's... he said he did some quote-unquote fat-shaming comment on that show, that interview that they had, that NCT 127 had with Zico, and they were talking about this. What song was it? Was it Fire Truck, their debut song? That they, you know, that there's a part of the choreography that they had him and Jaehyun, I believe, they had to lift Haechan. And I don't know, because I didn't watch, because I actually am not that, I don't like Zico, so I didn't watch the interview, but I saw the clip of him expressing and saying something about Haechan's weight, sort of like asking him not to eat. And if he was like a bit heavy, he was like, oh, I noticed that you ate, or that you ate too much. So he mentioned Haechan's weight again. So you know how those subjects, and also because it's always Haechan, you know, so I think that it's not, it was a very unfortunate comment that he did, but yeah, he did it, he said it. Like, I don't understand how we are talking about this in 2024, and also considering that my bias is someone who had been traveling parts of the world. He has been seeing that he has a lot of fans outside of Korea, that, you know, we love him over here, that that, you know, his fan base is also expanding. Everyone is looking forward to his solo work or to whatever he does. He has a lot of international support. So, you know, it's like when you say those things, even if it's like an anecdote, that I believe that among them, this is normal. Actually, this kind of commentaries, I know that is normal in the Asian culture. But I think that we should change that because it's not cool. It's not cool. He said hi to Somi. That's the thing that I was like. I feel like 127 fat shame each other all the time, especially surrounding Hechan. He gives and takes. Yeah, it's like, it's a dynamic. Yeah, yeah. But I was like, you know, when I saw it, I was like, no, you didn't say that. Like, yeah, okay, the usual. The type of controversy happens all the time. Unfortunately, it's the culture and the industry. Yes, it's the typical Asian shaming. Yeah. Yeah. Hechan for NCT tour last summer was super sexy. Yeah, especially for Pado's song. Yeah, it's not cool, especially when one particular person is always targeted. I know they love Hechan. I know they love Hechan. And I know that Yuta loves Hechan. I know it because I watch their content and I focus a lot on their dynamic, and I observe a lot because, you know, we sometimes when we watch content, even though it's subtitles, you don't understand what is going on sometimes. So I often, especially when it comes to my bias, because I know that my bias is not very affectionate. So when he shows care or when he gives the like the attention to someone, especially this past year, Yuta has been opening up and having a lot of cute moments of skinship and just cute moments with different members of NCT. Not just Mark or not just Taeyeon, because Taeyeon is like they are 95 liners. So, you know, I seen an evolution in my bias. Definitely I seen it. I love it. I hope he overcomes this, and I hope that he continues shining. Of course, that he has to leave SM, of course, but at the same time, this is a job. The reality, this is a job. This is his job. So sometimes what I like about Yuta is that he knows how to be mysterious, and I think that sometimes to be mysterious sort of saves you from certain scandals, because you don't give content for people to talk about. You don't give them the content. You know, they cannot edit and crop that you said or that move that you did. You know, when you are a bit like on the mysterious side, people can suspect or can create a theory about like, oh, look, he moved his head like this. Oh, he was ignoring this person because he moved his head to the other side. But you will never hear certain words. But yeah, he did say something very unfortunate that I think that also I was like reflecting. I was like, why is this subject coming up on this show? Like, why? We are in 2024. This is not cute. This is not like a family gathering that we're like, oh yeah, this was so funny. No. Also, the person is seated there, like. Yeah, you tell us be mysterious about weight talk from now too. Yeah. Yeah. It's like, don't talk about it. Don't talk about it. Like skin tones, if you're tan or not, if you're hairy or not, if you're heavy or not. Don't talk about weight nor skin color. Please. Please don't. Like, yeah, and also he was laughing. So you know, there's this feeling of like, you know, I don't know how the audience felt about it. Probably the netizens, they see it as normal because, you know, it's a regular conversation for them. But when I was watching the clips, I was like, you mess up. And this is the thing that I was like, this is why sometimes I'm like, you have to go back to be mysterious. Because actually, I was very surprised. I was very surprised. I was a bit happy, I must say. I didn't watch the Zico reading, another reading, the show, this interview. But I saw clips of him actually being asked questions. Like Zico actually said, like, Yuta, this, how did you feel about this? And Yuta actually was giving a very expanded answer. And I was like, yes, this is our moment. Yuta finally is talking. And this is what he says. Like, oh my God, no. No, I'm like, yeah, I know, yeah. Korean media don't give a shit. Yeah. Here I was shocked when Bachang talked about his laser hair removals. Yeah, they are so obsessed also with hair, like, you know. Yeah, it's probably their way to tease each other. They probably don't see it as a big deal. And the majority of Korean audience also see it as humorous. Yeah, also because if you notice, if we talk about all the idols that had debuted, we all had seen them. They were very skinny when they just debuted. All of them. All of them. You can look at them and be like, you know, I'm sure that this group bonded over like starving like together. Because you see their faces, you see their tiny bodies, you see how pale they were. Like, and this is not pale, good pale. It's more like you know, they were starving. The idols that they just debuted. If you see the old clips, you see like this is not the like, you know, like, oh yeah, because he's a teenager, that's why he's skinny. No, those guys were starving, guys and girls, because also the girls initially when they just started, they looked like so skinny, so skinny. And also, I was thinking about it because the other day, Jungkook has now like a YouTube section, like a YouTube show with Monsta X Shonu, and they also invite different members of other groups to eat and talk, sort of a mukbang. And they invited the other day. They invited Haechan and Johnny. And they were talking like, actually Jungkook eats a lot. Jungkook, if you see him, like, he enjoys food and he eats a lot. But you know, he's super skinny. But if you see, like, him and Shonu, they were like, yeah, please bring another plate of this. Yeah, wait, that we still have to eat the soup. And and Johnny and Haechan were like, you know, we don't eat that much. Actually, they were saying that actually NCT 1 to 7 probably. Yeah, I believe is one of the groups that they eat the less, that they don't eat that much. That usually they ask a certain amount of food and they share it, because if it's up to them, they cannot finish the plate by themselves. And with this, I feel like so. I feel so like I resonate with this so much, because even though like I have thyroid and because of, you know, that I'm working seated and everything, I gained a few pounds. But when it comes to food, when I have to, for example, when I'm invited to a dinner or someone, and I have to order food for myself, and everyone orders, I swear that I feel so ashamed of myself, because I'm like, the plate is huge and I cannot eat. I cannot finish. I see everyone eating, and I'm like, I look at the plate, and I'm like, I'm not going to be able to finish this. And I feel so, because I remember my mom was like, to show appreciation, you have to finish the whole plate. But for me, I'm like, I'm full. I cannot finish it. Even if, like, it was delicious, but there's no room in my stomach anymore. Like, I cannot. I'm full. And that's why I freak out sometimes when I go to certain, like when I have meetings that involve going out to eat, because if you don't have like the when you're not close to the person, you cannot be like, okay, can we buy this and share this, please? So, I can eat a bit and then you can have the rest. Because the whole plate for myself, I feel so overwhelmed. I'm like, I'm not going to be able to eat this. Because I don't feel hungry anymore. And I feel like if I keep eating, I'm going to choke. Like, I cannot. My stomach doesn't have much place. And probably people will be like, oh, maybe like she's doing some diet. No, not at all. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Severely underweight. I say weird things as well, so that's why I avoid being over mysterious and eating my words. If you do, you'll be wider when you have to talk. Sometimes I feel sad about female idols not having curves because they need to stay as thin as possible. 2 donuts for 8, 9 people is crazy though. Yeah. Yeah, Wonyeon in I, every time I see her is painful, especially since she's considered the it girl of her generation. Momo has always well balanced body wise, but still she has gained weight now. It's visible. She looks better for me. Yeah, Momo is so beautiful. I love her body. I love her body and Giselle's. Imagine in real life they actually look 5 kilograms less. Yeah, that's one of the things, Marushka, actually, that I was like, I don't know if I would want to meet Yuta in person. I don't know. Because I think he would be too, all of them, but because he is my bias, I think that they may be too skinny for me, and I would get a bit like, oh wow. Like, I would freak out and not in a happy way. Like, I would be like, wow, you are so skinny. Like, you're, like, and I know, guys, if you met probably celebrities, if you met them in person, you actually get a big shock when you meet them in person because they are so small, and you're like, wow, like on the screen you look taller or different. But people talk so much about her body, she had to address them. But oh, she's aware she's not skinny as others are, but she will not damage her body anymore. Even the guys, they always look better when they put on a bit of weight in my. Yeah, I was excited actually when Yuta said that him and Jungwoo, they were going to the gym in different hours, but they were working out. So I was like, yeah, like finally my bias is going to have a different body, like. But well, is his body shape also? Probably like Japanese men, I believe they're very skinny as well. It's just cool to see someone look healthy, Yes. I was so surprised when I did not find Shining Hype and ATZ super skinny. Oh, I was so scared of that. Sun is powerhouse of man with his body. Oh, I'm happy to hear that, Marushka. that Shiny and Hypen and ATZ are not that skinny, because that's the thing that I would like. I'm not saying like, oh, I'm going to meet them, but what if you had the possibility, and the first thing that you would be like, and I would be like, and not because, oh, they're famous, it's more like, oh, you look so different, like, I don't know, when people describe meeting idols in person and they are like, oh, he looks like a doll, or he looks like an anime, I'm like, and that's good that he looks like a doll? Like, I don't know, isn't it creepy? Oh. Mina always had muscle and is now, when she's a lot skinnier. Same with Sana. Okay, guys, I'm going to tell you who I have on my list. I have, first of all, I'm going to read for the final couple of the boyfriend. I have there's two couples. Then for today's reading for the red flags and the green flags, I have 17 Vernon, Aespa Karina, Hongjoong of Ateez, Leo Wu, Chinese actor, Leo of Exo Do and Onew, Ten of NCT, Enhypen Jay, and TVSQ Juno, and Blackpink Lisa. And we can add Mingyu, because I know someone wanted Mingyu as well, so I'm going to add him with Vernon. Yeah, maybe if I do part 2, let's see how it goes today. If I do part 2, I'm going to do others. Okay, thank you, Samara. Have a lovely day. Okay, I'm going to start with the couples of the boyfriend. I'm going to start with Dai and Shun. Let's see how they're going to do outside of the house. Let's see what they have available. So yeah, for Dai and Shun. I'm sleepy, but you scare my sleep away when you call out my teeth. Okay. For this couple of the Netflix show, The Boyfriend, from Dai's side point of view, we have the sun. We have the tower, we have the fool. And from Shun's side, we have the judgment, we have the moon, we have the Two of Pentacles. And the relationship, we have the card of the Six of Pentacles, generosity. So, yeah, definitely. When I see the cards of Shun especially, I'm like, he hasn't changed a bit. He hasn't changed a bit ever since he came out of the show. He's not from the side of Dai, I think that he's definitely, I think that when he ended the show, he was so happy. He was so happy, like he came out of the house feeling very happy, feeling very victorious, feeling very full of energy. But probably, when they maybe came back to reality, some things had changed. Maybe there could be some interruptions. Maybe there could be something going on. I don't know. Them probably, I don't want to say like them not seeing each other, but probably there had been something that sort of ruined the initial happiness. Maybe something happened. Maybe they had an argument. Maybe they had separation. But with the full card, I see Dai just being his usual self, like he showed himself in the show. He probably is like sort of walking on eggshells, and he's like, well, yeah, we sort of like decided to take a time out, or we had certain differences, and some things were a bit shaky about our connection, but I'm willing to sort of like give it another chance, or I'm willing to start over. I think that he feels hopeful about his connection with Shun. But I think that honestly, these cards, also all of them are major arcanas. So, this is very deep of him. How, when I see these cards, I'm like, it seems like his happiness or his happy vibe is always at risk in this connection. It's always at risk. It's like he shows himself like so happy and so vibrant, and then something happens. Something happens, a fallout, a discussion, a disagreement, like, I don't want to talk to you, like, this is over, like, goodbye, probably a lot of ultimatums also, like, very cutthroat of like, okay, this is over, I don't want to see you. But still remains hopeful. He still is a bit like naive, I would say. He probably knows that this is not healthy, but he's like, well, we will see. Maybe we will make it. I think that he's hopeful about his connection with Shun, even though maybe he can also be a bit shook from time to time about these interruptions or these moments of a lot of like turmoil. And from Shun's side, we have, well, the Judgment, the Moon, and the Two of Pentacles. So the Judgment, I think that definitely it shows his nature. I remember while I was watching the show, the first thing that came to my mind was like how judgmental he seemed to be. Like he was judging everyone in the show. And I was like, you're so judgmental, and he got the judgment card. So I think that he sort of also has this way of living relationships. Transitioning relationships for him is like this. It's all like death and rebirth. It's like, okay, one day we're okay, and the other day we're not okay. Then something happens, everything with me is uncertain. You have to be careful because, I'm also going to judge you. Like, whatever you say, like, I'm sort of going to judge it. Also, in the moon card, it also shows that maybe he's someone that he is living in the darkness, I would say, when it comes to how he really feels. He probably feels a bit lost emotionally. This is why he tends to judge people in situations, because he probably is, he's sort of used to the pain and deception, and probably he thinks like he's a bit of a fatalist. He's like, okay, yeah, love will never find me. I'm going to end up alone because you don't understand me, because no one understands me, because I'm so sad and I'm alone. But he initiates the chaos. It's just that for him it's more like, okay, like, the others destroy my opportunity to be happy, when actually maybe he has an internal, like, he sort of predisposed himself to feeling like things are not, he's not happy. There's something about him just not being able to be happy. it seems like when things are going great, then he goes towards like, oh, but what if something goes wrong? So he sees everything from a point of darkness. And I feel like in connections, he tends to be a bit lost. Probably he doesn't know how to live a normal, he doesn't know how to love, and he doesn't know how to receive love. For him, it's like, I don't know if in the past his connections were also very not stable, so he's also living in the uncertainty all the time. It's like the more I like someone, the more insecure I feel. This is why I feel like I sort of have to keep the person on their toes just in case. Also the two of Pentacles is like, even though I can create chaos or I can create a very uncomfortable moment and I can make my partner sad and I can also make myself feel sad. At the same time, I can also change my mind. And maybe, tomorrow I will wake up and I will have a huge smile on my face and I will tell you that I love you and we will make up and we will be fine again. But then the Two of Pentacles is like you never know what you're going to get, what side of the scale you're going to get with him. So he is very unstable. He's very unstable. I think that he doesn't even like understand his own feelings or his own emotionality. He just feels like everything is an attack. That everything is like he doesn't know stability. He doesn't know also how to achieve stability. This is why I believe that maybe he can introduce chaos on purpose. But yeah, the relationship, we have the Six of Pentacles that says generosity. So yeah, this couple has the potential to actually build something long-lasting. They have a lot of, individually they have a lot of work to do, like especially Shun. He definitely needs to go to therapy. He needs to work these issues on his own. But the Six of Pentacles, it talks about the effort. The Six of Pentacles is like they have to learn to administrate the efforts. It's like, okay, it has to be fair. It cannot be one of them being super generous and forgiving and the other one just being destructive, chaotic, and just a brat. There has to be generosity from both sides. There has to be this balance, not the other part just being awful and the other part being forgiving. It's like there has to be a balance. They have to be generous with each other. It's not just like, oh, because I was hurt in the past, I have the permission to hurt you as well. Because my exes did this to me, so I will punish you in the name of all the things that in my life has gone wrong. No. You cannot have these baggages and throw it to someone else because you feel like you have been done wrong in the past. So I think that they have the potential, but they have to be generous. Like there's something about the generosity that it has to be very well administrated, because if one gives more than the other, if one is more willing to work things out than the other, I don't think it's going to work. But the potential of putting the effort is there. Like I think that they realize that the more action, and it's like sort of taking it seriously as if this was a job or a labor. Taking it like this, doing it like a routine. Okay, today I did something nice for you. Like, please, can you say thank you? Or please, can you do this for me? Or please, can you show more appreciation? Like, a sort of feedback all the time. And then the other couple is the couple of Kazuto and Alan. Kazuto and Alan. Yeah, Alan still got the Lovers. The other time that I read for him, he also got the Lovers and the Justice. So both of them are very like proper. I don't know how to say this, but I think that this couple is very interesting how they try to be like the proper person. So everyone that is watching me knows that I'm treating you right, that I'm a good person. I don't know why they do that, but I think that it is more imponent than how they feel. It's like for them it's more important that others see them as like I'm a good citizen or I'm a good person with good values, instead of how lovable I can be or how good of a partner I could be. It's weird. From Kazuto's side, we have the Two of Pentacles, we have the Sun, and we have the Justice. So again, he also is trying to balance things out with Alan. But yeah, from Alan's side, we have the Lovers, we have the Ten of Swords, and we have the Page of Wands. And they got the card of Four of Pentacles, Security. So it's very interesting that actually both couples, they got cards of Pentacles. It means that they, maybe when they left the house, they sort of went through a lot of changes, but they still keep working on this dynamic. In the case of Alan and Kazuto, I'm actually much more like surprised, because actually I didn't see like actually that connection. Like, I don't know, I felt like something was missing. But seeing the Four of Pentacles, I'm like, maybe they are still together, or maybe they are still building something. But yeah, from Kazuto's side, with these cards, with the Two of Pentacles, the Sun card, and the Justice, I think that also Kazuto is not, this is what actually the vibe that I got of him, and when I read for him individually, I said the same. I think that it's not like, oh, I'm in love with Alan, or Alan is the person that I chosen, and I'm so proud, and I feel this magnetism, and I'm like, he's the one that caught my attention the first time. He is the one. No, I think that he's much more like adapting. He's like, okay, of the show, with all the experiences that I had, I was able to choose someone. And he's sort of adapting to what he has chosen. He's sort of like putting the effort. Also, he's having fun. The Sun card, he's having fun. He's allowing himself to have fun. And but also the Justice is, it has this, like I mentioned, it has this very proper attitude. You know, it's like this very concise persona. You know, like, oh, I'm a nice person. I'm going to do things right for the connection, or I'm going to behave, or I'm going to be righteous with you. I'm going to be fair with you, because you are sort of like giving me a good time, and I'm sort of adapting to what you're offering me. I feel like this is okay, like I'm happy. But the Justice is also from this place of like, okay, I want to be fair, because since you gave me attention and you gave me all these fun moments, and we had this exchange that it was so lovely, and I had fun, I also want to allow myself to give you something back, because since you were so generous with me, I want to be open to give you something. Like, but always from a place of like, I don't know if he has like a sort of fear of like, what if I reject him, or what if after the show I don't talk to him anymore? People will be disappointed in me. I feel like and from Alan's part, I also see it. Like, there's this duality of like how I really feel for this person, and how I think that the society, or maybe the audience, what the audience expect me to do when it comes to this couple, or when it comes to this duo, this pair of people. It's like, no, I have to be just, I have to be a good person, I have to reciprocate, because, you know, he had put a lot of effort, so, you know, I have to reciprocate, I have to be a good person, I have to give back, you know. So for him, I think that it's more about like, okay, I don't want to disappoint others, more than what I really feel like, oh, I really like this person, or I think I'm in love with this person, or I think that this person makes me feel things. I don't see him feeling things for Alan. I think that he's very entertained. He's like, yeah, this is great. Like actually, there's something about him being like, probably with Alan, he was like an energy booster. You know, he was like the one that made me have the more laughter, the more fun, but it's not romantic. You know, it's not. But there's something about him just wanting to be a good person and not letting him, you know. He feels the need to reciprocate always. Like he's like, oh no, I don't want to leave them like this. No, they done so much for me. No, so. And from Alan's, yeah, from Alan's we have also the lovers. We have the Ten of Swords. We have the Page of Wands. I think that for Alan, I think that he definitely feels like also he probably cannot, like he wishes he could feel more confident towards Kazuto's like connection. He wishes he could feel more like, yeah, I know, like a bit more of pride of like, yeah, I know it was me all along. But he also is hesitant. He's like, maybe he feels like, I know I was his second choice, or I know that probably I wasn't his type. There's a bit of insecurity, and also probably there's something about Kazuto's language or the way he behaves that I think that for someone so expressive and energetic as Alan, maybe he lacks passion in this connection. He's like, yeah, like I'm glad he chosen me. Like actually, I was stressed. He was super stressed about not knowing if he was going to be chosen or not. You know, he also like all the time he never felt like, oh, it's going to be me. Of course, no. He always felt like in the middle. You know, like okay, I have to wait for him to make the decision, and this also gave him anxiety because it's like when you leave the power to the other person to decide and you have to wait. So I think that for someone like Alan, that probably he's much more proactive. He's also a very sensual person, probably he's very sexual as well. So he probably wished things were a bit much more exciting, probably until this day, if they are still seeing each other. He's like, you know, I wish we could have a more passionate, you know, dynamic, but he also is trying to sort of put out the fire and not show that intensity, because he's like, okay, I have to understand that Kazuto is like this, that, you know, I don't have to rush him, I have to understand him. But I think that for him it feels a bit heavy because probably he feels like I cannot be as authentic and wild in my fantasies or in the way I had been living my sexuality because of Kazuto, because Kazuto is not like that. So he feels a bit like repressed a bit, or he feels like a bit indecisive, like maybe I am being too much, maybe I should control myself. And I think that this gives him nightmares because there's this feeling of like, it takes away his energy, like it's very draining. But at the same time, he's also very loyal to his choice. He's like, I wanted to be with this man, so yeah, I have to endure it. I have to endure this connection. Yeah, very interesting. Okay. Okay. I'm going to start. The first person is going to be 17 Vernon. I'm going to place the card of the red flag first. Then I'm going to pull the green flag for Vernon, and then a conclusion as the third card. Okay, for Vernon, 17 Vernon. Okay. His red flag, we have, for his red flag, we have the Queen of Cups. The green flag, we have the King of Swords. And a conclusion, we have, oh wait. Sorry guys. We have the Three of Swords. Light of Swords. Yeah, for Vernon, I think that with the Queen of Cups as his red flag, probably it shows that maybe his red flag is that he probably is the side of him that is very emotional, that is the part of him where he is feminine, I would say, like the part of him where he has this whole emotional nature that probably he uses for his benefit. You know, he probably is like very intuitive, or he's just very emotionally, he's very smart. But I think that also he probably is someone that he uses his emotions to manipulate the person that he's with. You know, like, okay, like you made me feel this, you know, sort of being a bit needy emotionally also as well, being like, oh, you know, you didn't give me this, you know, a bit like complaining a bit, like even though you give him a lot of expression of emotionality, he probably is the one that keeps asking for more. And if we think about the Queen of Cups, I also can feel like the energy of the, you know, the nagging mother, you know, the mother that is so overprotective, or that is so, like, they try to guilt trip you. It's like all the time they're like, oh, you didn't call me, you know, you didn't do this for me, you didn't think of me before you did this. So there's a lot of like this is the red flag of him, just being this emotionally, you know, sort of like he wants to absorb you, it seems, you know, like it's never enough what you give him. It's never enough. When it comes to his emotional expression, it's like he wants you to give him more and more and more and more. And it's like, oh, you're not telling me how you feel. And you didn't ask me how I feel. What about my feelings? What about what I need? So there's a lot of emotional manipulation coming from him. That's his red flag. And also, since he's a queen, there's this feeling of him just knowing himself very well. So it's like, you know, probably he's like, oh, you know, because I am very sensitive and you're not. Like, you know, I have feelings and you're very cold. Like, you don't give me what I want. I only know emotionality because I'm a very emotional person, you know, but sort of using it to manipulate. I think that there's something about him nagging a lot and be like, you don't understand me. You don't understand how I feel. You don't understand me. You will never understand me. Like a mother. It sounds like a mother. The green flag is a King of Swords. So the green flag is his Aquarius self. The green flag, I think that it has to do with him being honest. You know, maybe, yeah, he can sound a bit like he's nagging, or that he's complaining a lot emotionally, like just being very, you know, very needy, very demanding, I would say, emotionally. But I think that the green flag is that he's a man of his words. He is a man that whatever he had said in this very emotional, toxic place, he acknowledges it. He acknowledges it. He probably is like, he transforms himself like day and night. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. He's like, he acknowledges that he has these moments, that he has this duality, and he's able to put it into words and be like, like, I know I can get like this. I'm sorry. Like he can be rational and very honest about it, and he will always like look at you in the eye, and he will always tell you like, okay, this is what is going on, or this is what is going on with me, and I believe I did this and I face the consequences of my behavior. So I think that the green flag in Vernon is that he's super honest. He's so honest. He's like he's also very, like, he faces the problems. He's like, yeah, I know I can get like this. I know I can get like this. I know I am like this. He also probably is someone that if he has to go to therapy or if he has to go and talk to people to sort of like express more himself and why he is like this, he probably is going to find all the resources to work this trait. Because I think that he gets a lot like this, and he sort of takes ownership of this behavior. He's like, yeah, I wish I wasn't like this, but it comes out like this. I have this feeling that probably there's something with the mother, obviously. Seeing here this Queen of Cups, I think that he probably has a bit of a mommy issue, and probably there's a part of him that he probably expects his partners to be like a mother to him. This is why he sometimes nags a lot, because it's what he's missing. He sort of wants someone that anticipates his emotional needs, someone intuitive, that is in tune, that you don't get carried away by his cold appearance. And you're like, oh, because, Vernon is the one in control, Vernon is so intelligent, Vernon is so logic. Actually, he is still a very emotionally, like someone that hasn't had a lot of emotional stability, like especially a lot of love and just like, just I feel like this very warm, he just wants this very warm nature, motherly nature, very accepting. And this is why he gets like this, because he sort of hates that that no one acknowledges his emotional needs. It's not about like, okay, like I want money, or I want to buy this, or I want to, no, I need, it's as if he's starving emotionally. It's like he had been starving for so long, and since he doesn't know how to get it from the outside, because he's also in a industry or in an environment where also love comes with a lot of restrictions and love comes with a lot of rules. It's like, oh, you have to behave to get love, or you have to be a certain way to be approved by others. So I think that he probably is looking for love, and he just wants to be maybe, just treated like a child with a lot of empathy. Maybe there's something with his inner child, because definitely I see his nature just being very studious. He's very studious of himself. He knows himself very well. And he's very well to communicate what is wrong with him. If you pay attention to him, he will tell you where he's wrong, or what he did wrong, or what he didn't do. He's very intelligent like this. But yeah, we have the free of swords, heartbreak. This is why I say, like, there's a trauma, there's something that happened in his, maybe in his early childhood, or maybe it has to do with past relationships, where his emotional needs weren't met. And I think that for him it's a whole struggles in connection to find someone as emotional as him. It's like, if he finds someone that is as emotional as him, and someone that also nags him, someone that also is like this Queen of Cups, also nagging him back, and just like, being like this, being toxic in emotional language, like in an emotional language, he will be happy. He will be happy, because he's like, okay, yeah, we are fighting or we are arguing, but actually we are arguing because we are so sensitive, or because we are so emotional. So it's valid, so it's valid. Yeah, he wants to feel so bad. He wants to feel so bad. Okay, I'm going to continue with Mingyu. 17 Mingyu, his red flag, his green flag. Oh my god, the dogs. And the conclusion. Okay, for him, we have the hangman as a red flag. The green flag, we have the Knight of Wands. And the conclusion, we have the Six of Wands, victory. So yeah, it's very interesting. His red flag, the hangman. I think that his red flag is that probably he gets himself stuck in very uncomfortable situations because he doesn't want to wait and learn from a connection. It's like probably he's someone that he's very, or either he's too prideful or he just doesn't have the level of awareness yet to sort of be like, okay, maybe I mess up. Or maybe, you know, the situation that we're going through as a couple is happening because I did this, I caused this, or I created this, I mess up. I think that he's like so desperate sometimes to, I think that he's the kind of lover that probably he doesn't want to be put on hold. He's not someone that you can be like, okay, let's separate, like you go over there, you go, time out. Like you go and reflect on what you done or what you said to me, and I will go my way to this way. Like, you know, I will give you time to reflect. Probably he doesn't know how to reflect. He doesn't know how to reflect. He doesn't understand what he did wrong. This is his red flag, I would say. Like if he mess up in a connection, he doesn't have the patience or the awareness to be like, oh, maybe this that happened, I sort of created it myself. Or if I got into a problem, probably was because I did this, right? So yeah, maybe it was me. He's like, because I think that he's so energetic, and this is of course him being an Aries, that he just is not the type of person that he would be like, yeah, I will go over there, like I would just close myself and I would reflect on what I did wrong. He's like, no, I don't have time for that. And also, he doesn't like to be put on hold. He doesn't like to be put, like, for you to be like, oh yeah, let's have a timeout in the connection. No. If you threaten this man to sort of break up or let's take a time off, he will break up. Like he will just be gone. Like he will just be like, what time out? Like you're saying we're done, we're done. Like, you know, I'm not going to stay here all pitiful. Like he doesn't have the patience, you know, he doesn't have the patience to just sit and be like, oh, yeah, I guess I should reflect more on this and get into my higher self and get into my intuition and be like, what did I wrong? No, he's like he probably also, because we have as the green flag, we also have the Knight of Wands. So definitely he's a man of action. He's a man of action. And this has to do with him being resolutive, in the sense that if you are upset with him about something that he said or did, he wants to fix it right away. He doesn't want to put on hold. He doesn't want to be put on hold. He doesn't want to wait. Like, oh, let's wait until the waters come down. Like, let's wait. Like, let's take a few days off, away from each other. He's like, no, I want to fight for our connection now. If you have an issue with me, or if you have, like, if you are upset, or if there's something wrong in the connection, I want to work this I want to go and see you. I want to go and fix it now. I don't want a timeout. This is why this card came out as the green, like the green flag of him. His positive trait is that this man is a doer. Like he probably is, if you confront him, like if you got offended by him or by something that he said, and you're like, okay, like tell me, have you reflected on what happened? Like what happened? Why are we like this? And he will probably be like, I have no idea what I did wrong. But the only thing that I can tell you and that I can show you is that I'm here and I want to work this out. That I'm here, I have the energy, I have the passion, I have the rush to sort of be like, now is the moment. I want to fix things now. Don't put me on hold. I want to fix them now. So he's like this. He's a doer. He's a fixer. He doesn't like to be locked away or punished somewhere. You know, like go home and reflect. He's like, no. If we have an issue, like let's talk about it face to face. Probably this is also a man that he doesn't like, that when you have an issue, like, or you don't respond to messages, or you don't talk to him, like you don't call him, or you know, you don't accept his calls. He's like, I'm coming over to see you because I want to hear it from you. Like I want to talk face to face. Like what is going on? Tell me. But all very much like face to face, because he believes in fighting for the connection. Even if sometimes it means that he has to fight your own resistance, you know, but he's like this. He lives the moment. He lives the moment. He's like, okay, why do I have to wait like a lot of years? I want to fix this now. And also, you know, he got the card of victory. So also the Six of Wands, a very much like a maker energy. So I think that in these cases, in connections, maybe for Mingyu, this is a very successful strategy, because he got the Six of Wands. So probably for him, this has actually been very resolutive. He had always had like a victorious accomplishment or solution or resolution, because he put the effort, because he made the work. He didn't let distance or time between him and his special someone. He's like, okay, if we have to talk, let's talk now. Like, don't ghost me, like, don't disappear, like, let's face this. If you have an issue, if there's something that you don't like about me, or if you're offended, let's talk about this. But let's do this face to face. I don't want any like messages, no, he said, she said, no, I want to look at you in the eye. And if you want to break up, like, also tell it to my face. Be courageous. So yeah. He's a doer. Also, probably he doesn't like uncertainty. He doesn't like when people put you, like they act all mysterious, like I don't want to see you or I don't want to talk to you. And he's like, what? No, like let's talk. Let's talk now. Even if the person is angry, like if the person is angry, it's better, because it's like, in this state that you're actually very angry at me, maybe it's the right possibility for you to tell me to my face, in this state of anger, how you really feel about me. Okay, I'm going to move on to Karina of Aespa, her red flag. Green flag. And conclusion. Okay. Okay. Karina gives me very Capricorn vibes. I don't know why. Okay, the green flag is the Ace of Cups. This is the red flag. The green flag, we have the lovers. I don't know what's a green flag as a lover, but no, sorry, not the lovers, the devil. I mean, I saw the two people and I was like the lovers. And the conclusion, we have the Eight of Pentacles, that the keyword is hard work. Yeah, a lot of work. And also I see the devil and I think about work. I think about like professional, like, you know, like I'm professional, like I'm professionally invested in this connection. But yeah, the red flag, the red flag for Karina definitely is that she withholds affection. Definitely. The red flag for her is that if she's upset or if she's offended, she withholds the affection from you. She is like, she doesn't give you the love that she usually gives you. She doesn't give you the time of day. She probably ignores you. She probably is very cold, is very calculative, is very different from the usual very generous person. You know, if we see the Ace of Cups here, on the bright side, is all very like for generous, you know, it's all very like here, you know, my love, my appreciation. But when she is in her toxic side, she's like, no, give it to me. Like, this is mine. No, I'm not giving it to you. And she will take it away from you like this, very fast, very fast. And she probably will become, also will like detach herself from you. She will be like, yeah, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to see you. Like, she probably, this is her red flag, that she has little patience. Like, I think that, especially if she feels like she has been done wrong, like there has been like someone disrespecting her, or if she feels that she is not appreciated enough in all the love and the support that she gives, or probably how generous she is as a partner, she's like, fine, I'll take my love away. Fine, I will take the cup away from you. And you are a stranger for me. I don't know you. I don't know you. She is like this. She can be so generous, but once she turns her back on you, she's not going to come back. She's not going to come back. And probably she's going to scare a few people. People are going to be like, wow, like she seems so sweet. And now she looks so cold, and she's even scary, I would say, like that how cold and detached she can be. But definitely, this is her red flag, is that she doesn't waste a second. If she feels like you don't appreciate her, she's going to take all the love, all the attention, everything that she has given you, she's going to take it away from you very fast. The green flag says the devil. So for me, this is not a green flag, the devil. But this is why I was saying, like, she does give me that sometimes maybe she polarizes a bit with Capricorn energy. I think that the good thing about her is that probably she it's like, even though she doesn't want to accept it, there's moments where she gets very attached to the people that she likes or the person that she likes. And probably even though she wants to deny it, like, oh, how invested she is in the connection, or she wants to make it seem like, oh yeah, I have the control in this connection. No, actually she probably is the fool for the person. You know, the lovers is not, I keep saying it, the lovers, because I see the two people in here. The devil is like attachment, you know, like my green flag is that when I really like someone, I get attached to the person. I get attached easily. So I cannot walk away, even if I say that I will. In that, you will see that she is very devoted. She's very devoted. It's just that I think that probably for her, even though this is like a red flag, she lives it as a torture. She probably doesn't want to admit that she's really attached to someone. She's like, no, I'm not the kind of person that gets attached. You know, I usually cut people. When there's something wrong, I just cut people out of my life. And the devil is like, no, actually you get attached pretty fast to the person that you like. You get attached and they dominate you very fast, and you fall for them and you cannot get away from them. It's just that she has this speech of she thinking that she has the control. Obviously, she has like these manipulative tendencies. She's like, okay, yeah, if I don't like what you said to me, I will take my love away. But it's like if she really likes someone, she will always come back. She will always come back. And if the person is toxic, she will always come back. It's like she will hate herself because she will be like, oh no, I'm not like that kind of person. But she is actually. She gets attached very easily to someone's energy. I think that she still hasn't felt like this, but maybe once she meets the person for her, she's going to realize like, oh, actually it's really hard for me to walk away now. Like I usually am the one that walks away and I don't look back. But actually now that since she meets this person, she feels like a strong attachment. That she's like, I don't recognize myself. Why do I always keep coming back? What happened? and the Eight of Pentacles also, hard work. So this is why, because I think that for her, she's very, just like in every aspect of her life, Karina is very hardworking. So maybe, yeah, she walks away or she takes her love away when she feels like the person doesn't deserve or appreciate what she does or what she gives. But if she sees the potential, or if she's like, okay, I feel like this is worth it, she will work for the connection. She will work for the relationship extra hours. She will put the extra effort, even though she can complain from now and then, because I see her sort of complaining, like, no, I'm not that kind of person. No, I am actually like, I'm very detached. Like, I just do me, you know, I don't get attached to people like this. But yeah, she gets very attached, and she complains like, oh, this relationship is tough work. Like, this relationship gives me a lot of work or a lot of headache. But actually, she loves it. She loves it. She loves to put effort in connection. She loves it. Okay, for Ateez Hongjoong. Okay, for Hongjoong, we have the red flag. We have the Three of Wands. The green flag is that we have the Judgment. And the conclusion, we have the Ten of Wands, burden. So why do I feel like this is not, you know, with the ones in here, I feel like there's literally this feeling of burden. Probably at this point in his life, maybe for him, relationships do feel like a burden, or do feel like they don't go anywhere. Or probably that he doesn't have the time to build a successful connection. Because with the Three of Wands as the red flag, I also see someone, you know, the Three of Wands, it shows you like this, you know, very dark, a very dark moment where you actually, like, yeah, maybe you have the possibility to advance in the connection, but you don't feel the passion. You don't feel, you probably are like, yeah, I know what's the next step in this connection. I know what I should do next. But actually, I'm not feeling that creative when it comes to relationships. Like, I don't know where to go from here. Also, the Three of Wands, I think that is probably his energy feels, his creativity feels very wasted. Maybe because in relationships there's something about him probably wasting all this energy in his job or at his job, that when it comes to relationships he is left out without a purpose or even without energy to advance to the next level in connections. Because the Three of Wands usually is very hopeful about the future. It's very hopeful. It's someone that has already taken different steps to advance. When you are in the stage number 3, you had already gained certain steps, so you are confident and you're like, okay, let's go for more. What's next? What's on the horizon for us? And I'm excited, let's keep advancing, let's keep being ambitious in this. But if you see it like this, the person actually feels a bit like he ran out of energy. It's like, yeah, I know we're supposed to go somewhere, but I don't know where. I don't know where do we go from here. And probably for him, that is someone that he utilizes his creativity and his willpower for his career, for his self-development. When it comes to relationships, maybe he's like, he doesn't feel like he has much to offer. Maybe it would be nice if the other person is the doer, the one that brings the ideas and executes the ideas, the dates, the planning. Because I see him block in this sense. He's like, I know I should take the next step in this connection, but I don't know if I feel the energy to do it. So he can procrastinate a lot in connections. It's like he probably can be like, okay, we went on a first date, it was great. We went on a second date, yeah, I'm sort of getting used to you, yeah, it was fun, but what about the third date? In the date number 3, probably he starts doubting. He's like, yeah, I know I said I would call you, or I know I said that we had to meet, but I don't know, because something came up, and I don't know if I will be able to see you or if I will be able to continue with this. There's something about him not knowing how to continue the connection because he lacks energy. Probably he's too drained energetically in other aspects of his life where he puts his everything, and when it comes to connections, he's a bit like tired. He's a bit drained. So this is why I think that maybe sometimes he sort of doesn't advance on connections. It's like, yeah, he goes on a date or two and then he disappears, or then you never hear from him because he cannot see the horizon, he cannot see the future in the connection. And instead of just facing you and being like, yeah, I don't see it for us, he probably disappeared. This is his red flag. But yeah, the Three of Wands also is like definitely there was an initial interest, but then he loses it. Then with the card of the Judgment, I think that his red flag definitely is that, again, like he gives me very honest vibes. I think that he's always like learning about himself. The good thing is that he's always like putting himself to the test, and he probably is very he understands that it's not just a problem of the other person. He understands that probably it's not a problem, but probably is something that he does and that he creates for himself. So he takes accountability for his actions at the end. I think that his green flag, it would be that you could have certain moments with him where you don't know where you're standing with him, where you don't know, like, okay, what are we? Or is this stable? Like, are you getting tired of me? Like, what do you want to do? Like, are you saying goodbye to me? Like, what? Like, and with the judgment, is like he takes his time, he does like the proper analysis of what is going on with him, and most of the time it has to do with his state of mind. You know, he's not in a very good mood, or in his life things are not going very well. He usually doesn't feel like he has the libido or the energy left for the love department or for the love aspect of his life. You know, I feel like there's something about him that he doesn't have the battery enough, like enough battery to be romantic. So probably he's like, you know, I have to tell you, until here I was able to make it. I cannot give anymore. Because I feel like, you know, I'd be lying to you if I can tell you like, oh yeah, I have extra energy for us. And, you know, at this point I feel a bit burnt out, or I feel a bit suffocated, or I feel a bit drained. So yeah, I'm sorry, but you know, the timing is not right. I don't feel okay. I apologize, but you need to know it. You need to know it. Like, I think that he's honest. He also probably wants to give like sort of closure, but probably he's someone that he also judges himself a lot. So I can sort of see him like more like him being like, oh yeah, it was me. You know, if we didn't advance in this connection, it was because I wasn't in a good place. He probably judges himself a lot, or probably I think that he judges himself and he's like, I think that I don't have enough to be in a connection at the moment. I think that I don't have room. I don't have room to do this. And then, you know, he got the 10 of Wands, that is his burden. So definitely he probably views relationship at this moment as a sort of burden, you know, where he probably needs a partner or someone that can help him alleviate that burden, you know, and not feeling him like he has to be like the responsible one. Maybe someone that can sort of help him make these plans for the future, because he's just exhausted. He's so exhausted. Like he doesn't have much energy. Okay, I'm going to continue with this Chinese actor, Leo Wu. I don't know if I believe I read for him before, but I don't remember him at the moment. Okay, for Leo Wu. Okay, his red flag, the King of Pentacles, for his red flag, the King of Pentacles. I would say very cheap, but I don't know. Is he an earth sign? I don't think so, but... and the green flag, again, the Judgment. And the conclusion, we have the Empress, receive. So, yeah, probably his red flag is that he wants to be right all the time. He wants to be right all the time, just very stubborn, very possessive, not very flexible to change. Probably, like, when he's in the connection, he expects things to be a certain way, and also he expects that all his needs are met. Like it's like, okay, I want this, so like I am a king, so you better treat me right. Um, and probably it's like he's very stubborn. He always gets what he wants. I don't know if maybe it has to do with his popularity, but I think that probably in all his connections he is like this. In all his connections he is like this. He's very much like um, just very like I want what I want, like like very like yeah, like, and I'm always right. I'm always right, and I'm going to let you know that you're wrong. So this is his red flag. This is his red flag. That also he could be a bit cheap. He could be a bit cheap. Yeah, he could be a bit cheap. Um, um, Also a bit boring also like he's traditional, because when the first the first time I saw this, I was like, is this the emperor? No, it's the king of pentacles. But it gives me the sort of the inflexibility of the emperor, like someone that knows how successful they are, or they know their value. They are very hardworking, but probably in relationships they expect to be treated like royalty, or they have like high demands. It's like, no, I want this, and it's like in a relationship you're supposed to be flexible and also understand the other person's needs. And in this case, I see him like being like, no, me, me first, satisfy me first, and then you. But yeah, his green flag, the judgment. Also, I think that he if you, I think that he knows when enough is enough. Probably he can act like a brat child, like a brat. He can act like a spoiled brat from time to time in connections, sort of expecting people to spoil him, especially a romantic partner. But with the judgment, I think that he also understands when he's sort of gone too far. And the judgment is like this period where he's like, I guess I am too much. I guess I wasn't being very nice. I wasn't being very flexible. I was a bit much, and I'm sorry. The judgment is also when you're sort of put, like, either the person gives him an ultimatum or someone sort of calls him out on this, and he's like, okay, I guess I wasn't very very nice, and I apologize. But definitely he does have like some superiority complex, that. But I think that it has to do with the type of people that he dates or that he hangs out with, that they treat him like a king, and probably they treated him like a king or like royalty for a very long time. So he's used to that kind of treatment. So he expects people to pleasure him or to telling him that he's always right. But then with the judgment, I think that he understands that he has gone too far, or maybe he's like, oh, I don't want to be that person. I listen to myself, or I hear, or I had reflected on what I've been doing, my behavior, and I think that's disgusting, and I think that I shouldn't be like this with the person that I love. So the judgment is also sort of a calling to sort of making up things, because you can actually potentially lose the person that you want. So you have to decide, what are you going to do, because things cannot continue the same. So I think that he has the ability to get out of this very like the box that he has in his mind. He's very intelligent. He's very, like, he knows how to reflect on himself. It's just that probably his routine, it has to do with part of the way he lives life. So probably in relationships, he's like, oh, I guess that being in a relationship is the same as how I interact with others in other aspects. And no, not at all. And also, if you see the Empress here, See, this is like the keyword is receive. So the cards and also the final message is for him to become not so rigid as the King of Pentacles, but also connect a bit much more with the flexibility and adaptability of the feminine energy. That a relationship is all about like giving and receiving, and it's all about like also being prosperous together. You know, it's not so much like, oh, I have the power in the connection. So yeah, this is mine. Everything that I want is mine. This is like my castle, or this is my kingdom. And in here, you know, what I want is what gets done. And here the Empress, the message is no. No, no, no. In connections, we give and we also receive. So, you know, also the Judgment is a card that is like, look at how you are behaving. That's not cool. That's not cool. That also has consequences. Like, you can expect to have true love if you're always like bossing people around. So change your attitude. And him having this as a green flag, definitely he is in this process where he's learning to be much more accepting and adaptable, especially when he has to ask something to his lover, you know, to probably be much more gentle, like the Empress, you know, much more loving, accepting, seductive also, and not so like rigid and you know, just unpleasant and unflexible, because that's not attractive. Okay, I'm going to continue with Exo Do. His red flag, his green flag, and conclusion. Okay, for Exo Do, his red flag, 6, green flag, 6 of Cups, and 10 of Pentacles as his conclusion. So yeah, for Dio we have the High Priestess. The High Priestess. As the red flag. The green flag, we have the 6 of Cups. And the conclusion, we have the 10 of Pentacles, Legacy. So, yeah, I think that, I don't know why, I think that the High Priestess is, and it's very interesting because in this deck, this is a great High Priestess, because if we see like the real position of the High Priestess, we see like the actual High Priestess, like, you know, her, you know, all covered, you know, and in here, like in the darkness position, you know, we see her like showing her legs, you know, much more open, you know, he doesn't have the, you know, the papyrus, is it the papyrus, the of the Torah, you know. So there's a bit of, I think that probably is that his red flag probably is that Dio is, I don't know why it gives me Gemini, Moon in Gemini vibes. Like, Dio is not good at keeping secrets. Like, there's something, I don't know if this is something, but I think that the High Priestess is someone that probably they cannot sort of, you know, when you're in a relationship, you know, a lot of things happen, And the high priestess, as the red flag, I think that is someone that probably discloses everything that is going on in a relationship, or he probably like brings it up to people or to friends, and you will be like, wow, why did you tell this? Like, why did you tell this? Like, you're supposed to be very reserved. But the high priestess is like, from some matters, he's not as quiet as people think, or he's not a secretive person. He's not a secretive person. So probably for him, I don't know, if he has an issue in the connection, maybe he is the one that brings it up in a reunion, and he's like, oh, I had this argument with my partner. He tells everyone. Very naively, probably he just says it, but this also creates problems in the connection, because probably then the person finds out, and the person is like, why did you tell this group of people, or why did you say this in front of others? Like, this is our intimacy. This is something that happens between us. But I don't know why. I think that also there's something about Dio probably like just not being very careful about what is sacred and what is not. So when I have the high priestess, I'm thinking also about, spirituality. I wonder if he's a spiritual person, because I sort of feel like he's not that spiritual. He's much more rational, or he just says whatever comes in his mind, and probably he just says it at the randomest places, or he behaves very, very weird. And you're like, really? You had to expose us like this? You had to say that? Like, that's so, I didn't know you were like that. It's like, he seems like he's so restricted or so serious, but then there's moments, I don't know if it could be that he could be drinking or what, but I could sort of see him like do some kind of a striptease, or just going wild, and I don't know, dancing on tables, or just a very odd behavior that you're like, wow, like I really thought that you were a very reserved kind of guy. I really thought that you kept to yourself. And no, actually no. He's just, maybe he's silent, not very talkative, avoidant, but a saint he's not. Like a high priestess that is all very spiritual, and is that they take care of themselves, their soul, the spirit. He's not. No, not at all. Especially when he gets comfortable, or probably if there's like alcohol or something like this involved, he gets all like, he sort of starts talking and just expressing things. He can go wild, and maybe his partner will be like, what happened to you? Like what happened? Why did you get loose like this? He's just so funny. He's just so funny. Because you feel like, oh, he must be a very reserved guy, because he looks so serious. No, he can be so wild as well. He can be super wild, or probably like acting, like maybe, if you see like, oh, he's so serious, but I don't know, maybe he starts flirting with you. This is not negative, but maybe, I don't know how other people will view this, but maybe, I don't know, he's just feeling, I don't know, he's feeling like, like very passionate, or he's feeling like very affectionate towards his partner. He starts like wanting to kiss them and be like very into PDA in front of everyone, and the person be like, what is going on with you? Like, why are you being like this? Everyone is watching. So yeah, he's a freak. Even though he looks so like a saint. No, he's not a saint. He's just calculative. He has his moments. He has his moments, but actually he's very wild. He's very wild. He can go. He can do some stripping as well, like showing himself or acting sexy, and you've been like, what happened to you? Like, wow, I didn't know you were like this. But yeah, I don't understand how this can be a red flag. How people can be so like, especially a partner, how a partner can be so like, oh, like this is a red flag. But maybe, he's just someone that he knows that his way of expression is very different from others, so he doesn't control when he is going to be all out or when he's going to be reserved. Like, it's not that he can control it. Or maybe if there's like he's having fun or he's just feeling very excited about something, he shows his excitement like this. He starts to lose inhibition. He starts to feel like much more courageous, and he's like, okay. But I can see the person being like, wow, like, why now? Like, what happened to you? Like, I didn't know you were like this. And the green flag is the six of cups. The green flag is that he's just very loving. He's a very loving person. He's just very generous, and I think that he would never do something on purpose to hurt his partner. He's a very generous person. He's very giving. He's very giving. He's very I feel like he wants to take care of his partner. He's like, okay, whatever you need, I will give it to you. Like, like, even I think that there's something very, very peculiar about Dio. Every time I read for him, I feel so confused also, because I think he can surprise people of how erratic his behavior can be. But in the core of all this, the guy he's not mean. It's not a person that he does this on purpose to hurt others or to expose other people. I think that he's just very gentle. He's like a child inside. He's like a child inside. So I think that probably if he has to go out to certain social events with a partner, he probably doesn't know how to act. He gets very awkward. And also I think that there's something about maybe people, I think that also he feels very uncomfortable when people talk about him as if he wasn't there. When people are like, oh yeah, because Dio is like that. Yeah, this is him, he's like this. He always does this, or he always behaves like this. This is why I feel like he has the high priestess, because it's like, you don't know anything about me. I can be totally the opposite. You don't know me. You have no idea how deep or how complex I am inside. So I think that this is what he does, because I think that he's sort of, I don't know, he's sort of fed up with people being like, oh, because he's shy, or because he doesn't talk that much, or because, in comparison to the others, he doesn't say much. He's like, I have a personality of my own. I have my charms. It's just that you don't know them. So I think that for him, it comes from a place of not like, oh, I'm just being erratic because I'm like this. No, I think that it has like a deeper meaning. And it also comes from a place of, because the high priestess is also a card of mystery. It's a card of, you will never know me for real. Even when you think that you know me, you will never know what's behind me, or what I'm hiding, or what I'm selecting to not show you. But maybe, yeah, there are moments, or just, maybe when he's having fun, or maybe when he's just dancing, or just with the person that he likes, he starts losing inhibition. He starts showing his wild side. And people will be like, why did you do that? Why did you say that? But yeah, then he has the Ten of Pentacles, legacy. So definitely he he's very loyal to his partner, and probably he's thinking about having children and also getting married. Um, he's very he thinks about his legacy. He thinks about his future. This is why I think that from time to time he sort of wants to put his partner to the test to see, like, okay, like, am I making you uncomfortable with the way I'm behaving? Like, do you like me? Do you still like me? You know, so I want to see, I want you to get to know me, really. I want you to see all the aspects of me, even the parts of myself where I'm being a bit awkward, but I want you to get to know me because I want to see if you want to build this with me, if you want to keep building this with me, this legacy. Because definitely, if he's in a connection, if he's in this because he sees the future in this. It's not because he's like wasting time. So yeah, it was a very interesting reading. Oh my god! Every time I read for Dio, I always feel like something is going to come up. But this one, it was unexpected. It was unexpected. Okay, I'm going to continue with Onew, Shiny Onew. Oh. Okay, yeah. For Onew, he got the same card as Karina. He got the Ace of Cups. For this is a red flag. From the green flag, we have the Four of Wands. And the conclusion, we have the Page of Cups, play. So yeah, I think that for Onew definitely is very much like Karina, in a sense that yeah, he withholds also affection. He's like someone that when he's over, it's over, it's over. Like when you say or do something that he's like, okay, I feel like you're playing with me, or like you are really not putting the effort, or I feel like you don't appreciate me, or you don't respect me, or I feel like you are not treating me right, I'm going to take my love away from you. And I'm going to do it very, very cold. Like I'm going to be very cold and I'm going to be very precise when I do it. And probably he's going to be very hurtful as well. Like he's going to hurt certain people's feelings. Especially because, you know, like I said also for Karina, you know, when you see the bright side, these are people that usually they have their cup of love and appreciation. They have it always full. They're always probably the first ones to give you a hand, to help you, to assist you, to be generous with you when they like you. So when they take the love away, it is very noticeable. It's very noticeable when they, and also their whole aura or their whole posture, their whole vibe just changes. They are not the same smiley, understanding, and loving people that you know. No, they are just very cold. They are very like, you know, detached, and they can be a bit mean also, you know. But also I think that it hurts enough to see, you know, the rapid change, how they change, you know, from actually being very generous to actually being like, no, like you are definitely wasting my time, or you don't value me, I'm offended. So yeah, I would take my love away. I'm sorry. I don't have anything for you anymore. So yeah, bye. We are strangers. I think that it can be also traumatic for the person, the other person, the receiving end, because of how cold they become all of a sudden. It's like, okay, it seems like, you know, the love never existed or the connection never existed. They sort of treat you like a stranger. They treat you like a nobody, and they are very cold and detached. So you're like, wow, this person is not the same person that I used to know. And no. They definitely have this polarization that, yeah, they're very nice. When they're very nice, they're super loving. But when they are just cutting you, it's over. It's over. It's over. Yeah, and actually it's traumatic because since they give you so much, once they take it away, you sort of feel the abstinence. You start feeling like I'm missing them, or oh, I'm missing how they treated me. Like probably a lot of people also feel like they lost the opportunity, like, oh, actually I realized that I done wrong because they used to give me so much and I took them for granted. I don't know, but I think that definitely the absence of their love can be felt, and also how they changed rapidly. It's very it's very traumatizing, I would say. And the green flag for him, we have the Four of Wands. So yeah, the green flag for Onew, I think that Onew is someone that maybe also part of his life, in this aspect of his life, is to have fun, to be surrounded by a lot of people that he loves and that also make him feel alive, and that make him feel that he can celebrate being alive, and that he can celebrate even the smallest achievements. He can celebrate it with his people, and he feels like, when he is with you, he lets you in. He also opens the door to his house, to his intimate life, to his private life. So, it's a very warm place. It's a place that when you accept Onew in your life, you accept everything that comes with him. It can be his group of people, it can be his family, it can be like the members. Like there's a community, and this is a community of people that lift each other up. So it feels like you're always celebrating. So definitely he makes you feel like it's worth it to be alive, and this is like so nice when you share time with someone like this, because I think that a lot of things about his lifestyle has been changing over the years, and now he's like he's like surrounded, or maybe even his house or the way he lives, like everything feels so joyful, feels so ready to celebrate, ready to have fun, like let's go out, like let's enjoy the beauty of the day, and I feel like you have to be ready also to always be celebrating, because this is part of his everyday life, I would say, to celebrate, to see other people, not so much like, oh yeah, we're going to be together 24/7 and we're not going to see people. No, you're going to meet his family, you're going to meet his loved ones, he will integrate you to his people and his life, and it has a very nice energy. But yeah, with the Page of Cups, the keyword is play. So see, there's a lot of abundance, also emotional abundance. I think that finally Onew is learning, or is allowing himself to play, to be much more playful, to enjoy life, to enjoy relationships, to enjoy feeling romantic. And also, he's much more generous as a lover. He's much more generous, he's much more playful, much more like giving. He's having fun also in connections. So I think that definitely when I see the Page of Cups, I can see him sort of acting like a teenager, but all in the name of like, let's have fun. We only have like this life, so let's make the most of it. Let's just cheer each other up, let's not get sad. Okay, I'm going to continue with NCT 10. His red flag. green flag. And conclusion. Okay. For 10. Ten is always so confusing. Okay. His red flag, the King of Wands. It's so scary, the King of Wands. The green flag, the moon. And the Hierophant, as the conclusion, unlearn. So yeah, I think that yeah, as the king of wands, definitely. I think that probably his red flag for 10, it can be that 10 is very selfish. Like there's something about him probably in connections. It's all about what he wants. Or what he wants to achieve in the connection. The King of Wands is very controlling. It's also very like, oh, let's do what I want or what I want to do, or we're going to do things like this. So also the King of Wands, he gives me very, also very bossy. You know, someone that also, when I see the King of Wands, it reminds me a bit of the emperor, you know, this very strong masculine energy that I think that a lot of people sometimes can be surprised when especially when 10 has this very strong fire energy, because since he's a Pisces, you know, probably people are like, oh, but he's a Pisces and he feels very soft, you know, as an artist. He feels very soft, you know, he feels very, but I think that probably in connections, he is much more like dominating, you know, probably he likes to dominate, or he's like, okay, yeah, things are done the way I want to. And also he probably his masculine comes out, you know. When I think about this, I think about dominion, possession, sexuality as well. Probably is much more proactive or much more like passionate, and outgoing when he feels the attraction, and he probably uses that drive or that energy to his benefit. You know, probably he's thinking about his own needs, or he's thinking about like, okay, what can I get from this connection? You know, it's not so much like, okay, what can I give you? No, it's more about like the instant gratification of his. And also the King of Wands is someone that probably feels a bit entitled, like, you know, because I'm a king. So yeah, like, you know, things, when you are with me, things are done the way I want to. So we will see each other when I want to see you, and we will do this when I want to. And also when I want to have my free time, or when I want to be left alone, you're going to leave me alone. Because, you know, also the King of Wands is very individualistic. It's someone that they rule themselves. They are not followers. They are not the type of lover that is going to be following you around like, what do you need? No, it's more like what I want, what I want. The green flag, we have the moons. So I don't know if the moon as the green flag, I don't know. I think that probably 10 is so complex. 10 is very complex. And also because here I see in the card of the Hierophant that it says unlearn. So I think that definitely his green flag probably is that in all the confusion that he gives people, or probably the different parts of himself that confuses people, in that confusion there's a lot of wisdom. This is why he got the Hierophant at the end, because it's like you have to unlearn all those fantasies that you have, or preconceptions that you have of what it's like to be with someone like me, or what it's like to date someone like me, or what it's like to have someone like me. Like, you think that you know me, but you have no idea who am I. And also you have no idea how relationships work. You know, sometimes This is why the keyword of unlearn is so interesting, because sometimes people that come into our lives, different connections, we learn something from them, but we also learn what we have to unlearn, the things that we don't have to do anymore, or the things that we have to be like, oh, you know, I used to think this about this situation. Now I think otherwise. Now, you know, I take away the perception and I introduce a new one. So definitely he's a very, a very valuable lesson for someone that probably thinks that they have figured him out, or there's something about maybe this person wanting to dominate him, or wanting to have him for themselves, or there's something about people just thinking that they can dominate tens, or tens nature, or tens heart. And he, in his green flag energy, he tells you, like, you will never be able to dominate me because you don't know me. I don't know myself. Like, I can change. And also, this is the thing. I think that also, I think that this makes a lot of sense, because when you meet Pisces men, usually the Pisces man is, I believe they come into your life as a partner to sort of help you learn that you cannot control people, that you don't have the control, that you don't have it, that what you think that you know of them or what you had with them, it was an illusion maybe. Maybe it was real, maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was like you thought it was, maybe it wasn't. Maybe you think that you're going crazy, maybe that also is a part of their charm, to make you feel like you're seeing ghosts, or you're seeing things that actually they never were like this. And this, in his energy, he's like, you have a lot to learn, because you never thought like this until you met someone like me. That makes you doubt everything that you thought that you knew about men and relationships. So this is his green flag, is that allow yourself to feel confused. It's like, embrace it. Yeah, I'm confusing. I leave you in the darkness. Yeah. Maybe this is what you need to learn. That being with me is like, you don't know. Am I real? Are we real? What we had was real? We will never get the answers. And that's okay also. It's all twisted. My Venus in Pisces is like, what? I don't understand what you say. But well, whatever you say is welcome. Okay. Enhypen Jay. Enhypen Jay, his red flag. His green flag. And his conclusion. yeah, his red flag is the Three of Cups. The green flag is the Six of Wands. And the conclusion is the Ace of Pentacles, opportunity. So I think that his red flag is that actually Jay is a very lonely person. He's a very lonely person. The Three of Cups, if you see like from the upright, you know, in here we cannot see it, but it's usually the picture of three people like holding their cups up and sort of in collaboration, you know, at the same time, you know, the sentiment is there, the feelings are shared, you know, there's a sense of community, of union. But here, if we see it, we see a very lonely person, someone that actually hasn't been very lucky in collaborations, or probably he feels like, you know, every part of a group of friends or group of people that he meets, he's always been left alone, or probably he's always been left out of the group. I don't know if it's because he cannot be part of a group, or there's something about him not knowing how to share with others. So sometimes there's something about him being kicked out of certain groups. Like he probably is in a group of three people and they break up, or there's a fallout and he's been left alone. So there's something about him probably, yeah, him being a bit toxic in friendships. You know, I think that this is not something that could affect directly his partner, but I think that probably there's something about, I don't know, maybe his partner initially when they meet him, they see him as this very popular person. And they're like, oh yeah, because he, you know, he has a lot of friends, or he knows a lot of people, and he hangs out with these people. And he told me that he has a great relationship with this and this and this. And actually, you know, the reality is that most of the time, these associations dissolve themselves, and he ends up alone. So this is something that probably he reflects a lot. Like there's a pattern that sort of like repeats itself in his life, and he probably should reflect on why he's always been left out. Like, you know, what did he say or do to this group so that everyone sort of walk away from him? But I think that the red flag is that probably he tells people that he has a lot of friends, and probably when you start a connection with him and when you start seeing him, you realize that actually he's alone, or that, you know, he says he knows people, but he never hangs out with these people, or you never see them, or you never meet them in person. So you're like, are they really your friends, or what's going on? You know, I think that he has something about not being able to sustain friendships. And I wonder if this has to do with jealousy, or with envy, or with competition. But there's something about his friendships also not lasting that long. And probably when it comes to business, yeah, they do last. But when it comes to matters of the heart, probably he's very lonely. And maybe if you are his partner, you start seeing that, and you're like, okay, but what did you do to be sort of alone? You know, like what happened? You know, and he probably can tell you like, yeah, well, maybe I was selfish, or maybe I did this and I didn't realize that they really didn't like it. So, you know, maybe as a partner, you have to sort of see it like, you know, sort of, I don't want to say like you have to help him reconcile with people, but maybe, you know, as a partner, you also have to think like, okay, what's going on with your friends? Like, you know, you have to have your friends. Like, you know, probably this also means like him feeling alone and probably wanting to be in a relationship because he had a fallout with certain groups. So he's like, okay, I will get a girlfriend. So then my girlfriend will not leave me, you know, and this could be the red flag. And but yeah, the green flag is that he is a winner. The green flag is that he is a champion. Like he definitely will make his partner proud. This is a real green flag. Definitely, probably, you know, his destiny is sort of to learn to be on his own or to learn to rely only on himself. Because actually in the end he ends up being like a triumph. He ends up being victorious. So even if he has a fallout with certain people and he doesn't have the same friends, at the end it seems like time sort of praises him, and he gets the fortune, or he gets the victory on his own or with other people. So I think that at the end, probably there's something about him, maybe not having the best friends, or actually that those connections weren't that real, or that they weren't emotionally very well connected. They just were connected because of very selfish reasons. This is why the Six of Wands is like, you know, you can make it on your own easily. Like you are going to be a champion anyways. Like you don't need to be like, you know, following people around as if you were part of a cult. Like you can do well on your own as well. So I think that definitely he is meant for greater things. It's just that maybe, you know, he has, or he tends to become friends with people that are very shallow or superficial, or that they want to use him just because of money. So I think that, you know, but yeah, there's something about him probably being like, you know, I will never have friends again. I better start a connection, or I better have a girlfriend, and sort of pretends the girlfriend to be his friend. So this is where it becomes a red flag, because somehow he has to start all over and look for friends on his own. Do not rely so much on your partner to be the friend, you know. But yeah, eventually he gets to the success. You know, we have the Ace of Pentacles, so he is a very successful man. The card, this says opportunity. So definitely he's very successful. His connections are also always going to have a purpose of being very successful. Whoever is with him is also going to enjoy of this stability, of this recognition. Definitely Jay is like a magnet for opportunities and success and recognition. It's just that maybe life also pushes him to have these very toxic friends or connections that he has to learn to sort of be disappointed. Like, yeah, I thought they were there for me, but actually they didn't care. And yeah, that's the part. But also he should reflect on himself, like, okay, why do you choose friends like this? Like, you also have to reflect, like, you know, or what did you say? Like, also in the dynamic, what happened? You know, what did you do? Okay, TVXQ Juno. Okay, for TVSQ Juno, I have as the red flag, I have the Page of Swords as the red flag for Juno. The green flag, we have the Ace of Cups. And the conclusion, we have the Eight of Wands, action. So, yeah. For TVSQ Juno, honestly, like, yeah, his red flag is that probably he says certain things very abruptly and prematurely. This is maybe his Aquarius sun sort of coming up to defend himself from things that you're like, why are you defending yourself? Like maybe, their partner is just giving their point of view, or they're just saying what they think of a situation, or they're trying to sort of give him an advice or something, and he's like, I don't need your advice. I don't need your advice. Like, I'm sorry, I was showing it upwards, like here. And actually his words can cut very deep. Maybe he gets very on the defensive very fast, and he can hurt. He can hurt his partner's pride. I think that there's something about, probably there's a bit of pride in him, sort of like, being this very fast talker, like being like, no, you don't know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. You have no idea. I know. I know. I have the intelligence. You don't. So maybe in this case, his red flag is that he maybe can make his partner feel like, like they don't know anything, or that their words or their opinions don't matter. So, and usually I think that also he can not only hurt with his words, but probably he also cuts certain important conversations, like he cuts the flow of the conversation. He cuts the flow of the conversation. Instead of using communication to create or to strengthen the bond, actually he uses it to separate. It's like, no, you don't talk to me like that. I know. You don't know. So, I will not be hearing you anymore because I say so. So the conversation ends here. So I think that also, and also he can be very cold. I feel like probably his red flag is that intellectually he's so intelligent, and probably he's so charming with his words when he wants to, but also he's very condescending with words. He's like, I have the experience, you don't. I know about things, you don't. So in that case, if you're someone sensitive, it's really hard to, I think that also, since it's the Page of Swords, there's this immaturity, there's this impulsiveness to sort of tell you or cut the connection and be like, you have no idea what you're talking about. So it doesn't give you room to sort of be like, but why don't you explain to me what you mean? Or why don't you tell me how you feel? Like, we are in a conversation. The conversation is supposed to go both ways, it's supposed to come and go. And he's like, no, I'm done talking. So, in this case, he can be a bit unpleasant. He can be like, But his green flag is that he has the Ace of Cups. So his green flag is that he's inside his coldness, and inside, I think that it's not so much what he says, probably it's the tone of voice that he uses. He probably looks very stiff, like very, like, just, he looks too, like the person that seems like they know everything. He looks like that, so you're like, wow, like you are really not that nice. But actually inside, he's a very loving guy. He really cares. He really cares. He has a lot of love to give. He has a lot of love to give. And probably he's dying to have this emotional and long-lasting connection with someone. But I think that because of how he presents himself initially, he usually cuts connections, or he cuts certain conversations, and the other person is left with this bitter feeling of like, I don't want to continue talking to you if you're going to talk to me like this, because it seems like you are lecturing me, or like you are talking down on me, and I don't like it. So I think that definitely he should work more on his style of communication, especially with the people that he loves, or if someone that maybe even it's someone that he finds attractive. Maybe someone that he wants to ask out. Someone that he's like, I want to date this person. I want to get to know them. But I think that since he acts so cold and so rational, there's like a barrier, and the person is like, this actually was so uncomfortable. Like, he kept talking about himself, or he kept talking about all the things that he knew and all the things that I didn't know. So it seems like he still talks as if he was a teenager, sort of defending himself and talking about his maybe accomplishments or his life experiences, and doesn't listen that much. He's not that empathic. But he does have the feelings. He definitely has a lot of, I think that his emotions are very bottled up inside. Probably he has all the love available, but he doesn't know how to get it out, because for so many years he had to sort of defend himself and become cold to protect his heart. Or maybe he had always been restricted when it comes to communication. So it's like every time he talks, it looks like he talks in automatic. It looks like he's giving like a presentation, like a PowerPoint presentation, instead of like a lecture, instead of just talking to the person that you like. He lacks spontaneity. It sounds very robotic, but he's so full of love. Like, his green flag is that whoever gets his heart is like he has a never-ending love. He's so romantic. He's so romantic, so romantic. It's just that maybe he acts a bit, he got stuck in his old self. Maybe he flirts like a teenager. Maybe he feels like a teenager. Maybe he got stuck in the 2000s when we were teenagers. But yeah, the conclusion, we have the Eight of Wands action. So I think that this awkwardness can dissipate. This can actually evolve into something probably better, and actually this can advance. It's not always going to be like this, but he has to put action. Probably. Also, I think that the Eight of Wands, it lets me know that probably it's a very awkward moment for the other person, but maybe for him, he doesn't register things like this. It's like he doesn't remember. Probably they're like, oh, you talked to me like this and I didn't like it. And he just is like, really? I don't remember. There's something about him moving on very fast. Like, his memory is not stuck on what he did wrong. Because he's always living, his mind is maybe full of data and, maybe his own agenda and his own schedules. Like, the guy's really busy, so he doesn't have time to stop, reflect, and apologize. So maybe, yeah, he also needs a very understanding partner, someone that doesn't get offended easily, probably someone with sense of humor, but because when I see the Eight of Wands, it gives me Sagittarius vibes. So I think that he definitely needs someone that can somehow mock him, like being just funny, just not take him seriously. Because if you're very sensitive, you're going to get offended, and yeah, you're going to leave, or you're not going to want to hear from him again. But if you are someone that you are very funny, or that you are also, a bit like you also have a dark sense of humor yourself, you can sort of like, put the resistance. But he needs a Gemini or a Sag. He needs hope. Yeah, it has to be someone very fast, like this. Like, you cannot get offended by the guy talking like a CEO. Yeah, because he talks like this because his whole life has been built around talking like this. So he cannot sort of take away the chip. He is formal. Yeah, he's a very formal, rational guy. Is part of what he does. So yeah, he talks like this. But he's so sweet inside. He has so much love available. It's just that, it has to come the person that unlocks that love, that cup of love. Okay, the last one that I have, Lisa, Blackpink Lisa. I'm running out of energy. And I didn't talk that much today. I talked for a bit. Okay. For Lisa, we have the Knight of Wands, the red flag, the Knight of Wands. The green flag, we have the Lovers. And the conclusion, we have the Three of Pentacles, collaboration. Yeah, definitely the red flag. It sort of reminds me a bit of the first reading that I did for Mingyu, except that Mingyu got the Knight of Wands. He got it as the green flag. But Lisa reminds me a bit of Mingyu because, I mean, in the red flag, having the Knight of Wands definitely shows a lot of speed, a lot of like, you know, probably someone just, you know, getting on the horse and it's like, okay, let's go to confront you, or to if they sense that something is wrong, they're going towards you like with a very aggressive energy. Probably they are not listening to others, they are not listening to their intuition, they're just going straight to you, and if there's something wrong, they're going to, you know, be very like, you know, very fast in confronting you. You know, there's something about them going and also being like, you know, I don't want to talk to you on the phone or send you a text. No, I'm coming over to see you, and I'm coming over to confront you. You know, so I can see them, like I can see her sort of like showing up physically and also like, you know, ready to have a confrontation. Probably also the Knight of Wands is an energy that is not a very loving energy. You know, it's someone that probably gets carried away by their emotions very fast. You know, either they love too much or they get upset very fast. You know, everything is very tumultuous for the Knight of Wands. You know, just like as fast as they come, you know, as fast then they go. So probably, you know, she can actually, you know, put a lot of energy or a lot of herself to sort of validate certain stupid arguments. She puts a lot of energy on stupid arguments. You know, she can actually go all night long, like just like confronting you and just, you know, being in that very insistent argument. You know, it's like, you did this to me, and expects you also to react, expects you also to wake up at 4 a.m. in the morning to continue discussing. So it's very draining, it's very intense when you have also someone like this, because you are like, okay, what did I do now that you are upset again? You are mad at me again. Like, what did I do? And also that they don't measure the when or where. They are like, okay, if I have an issue, I'm coming over now. Like I'm sort of coming over to just continue arguing. You know, it's like, okay, a lot of argument is like, let it go. You know, it's not like that. You know, and probably then, you know, because the Knight of Wands also is a very it's like a very fast energy and also very impulsive. You know, maybe then they realize that they are just like talking nonsense, or that, you know, they are accusing the other person of something that it wasn't like that. And then they just lost a whole evening or a whole day, you know, arguing insistently on something that it wasn't worth it. But I think that probably, yeah, in connections, and the more she cares about someone, the more reactive she gets, like the more combative she gets with the person. Probably the more she likes someone or the more she cares, the more arguments she's going to have with the person. And it's like, you're going to listen to me, you're going to see me, like I have this to say, so you're going to, face to face, like I also mentioned for Mingyu. It's all about like, I'm showing up and we're discussing this, and it has to be now. It cannot be like, no, let's wait, let's wait until you calm down, so you think things through. No, it has to be now. Now. I don't care if I have to take a plane to see you. Now. We have to talk about this now. This is a very Martian kind of energy that cannot control their advances. It's like it has to be now. So probably if the other person... Can you hear the dogs? Sorry, I don't know what's... That's why I don't have dogs. That's why I love all animals. But I'm like, when they start like this, I don't know. Because my cat in here is sleeping like an angel. I don't know if you can see her. There's Luna. Luna is also looking like, she's like, what's going on? Luna is also like, she woke up from her nap. And she's like, what is going on with these people? But well... She's like, who woke me up of my nap? She's so like... She's like, oh my God, these people. Like, her face of disappointment. Okay, yeah. And... Yeah, and then, the green flag is the lovers. The green flag is that then probably she sort of gets, after all the arguments, she sort of comes to the realization that, yeah, maybe it wasn't that big of a deal. Maybe I just had to wait and be patient and be understanding. The lovers is sort of like, maybe I made the wrong decision. Maybe I anticipated myself. Or maybe I didn't think things through, and maybe I was sort of like guessing and I got things wrong. My intuition failed me. The lovers is like, okay, I have to calm down. I guess at the end, I'm always going to choose the person that I love. Even though she can have all this very destructive energy that you feel like, oh my God, like, thank God that you say that you love me, because I thought that you wanted to, you really seemed like very angry, like very out of control. But actually with the lovers, it's like inside, she has this part of her that she's like, I shouldn't be like this with the person that I love. I shouldn't. I always must choose love. I always have to choose love before a moment of anger or a moment of frustration. But I think that for Lisa, it comes with her, it's part of herself. The more she loves or the more she cares, the more aggressive she gets. It's like she has to confront you, and she has to hear it from you. It's like she's so afraid of being lied to, or of people hiding things from her. And also with the lovers, I think that also it has to do with, I think that at the end she wants to be chosen. She wants to be confident that the person is going to choose her at the end, despite of all the drama and the scene and the accusations and all this passion energy. I think that at the end she wants a validation from the partner. She's like, please tell me that you are not indifferent to me, because the more she also gets all fired up, and the more she gets is because she cares. Because if she doesn't care, she's not going to move a finger. She's going to be like, yeah, whatever. let them think what they want to think. But when it's someone that she loves, she cannot help to get that combative. And I think that this is because for the lovers, I think that she wants a sort of like reaffirmation of the other person's feelings. It's like, I want you to let me know that we are safe, that you still choose me, despite of all the drama that I brought to you, or all my nature, all my, my fire that I don't know how to channel very well, because I'm sort of used to being a warrior all my life. I'm used to being a warrior all my life. This is how I survived. So the lovers is like she's sort of asking for her lover to choose her. And also the last card is the Three of Pentacles, that is collaboration. Also, this is also, I think that this is the key, this is the conclusion of the reading of her, that she needs a partner that collaborates with her. Also probably someone that makes her feel safe. Also probably someone that can help her maybe sort of heal this distrustfulness that she has, or this reactiveness that she has, and sort of teach her or help her gain security or different tools to address a discussion or address a disagreement. I don't think that is disagreement. I think that there's something that gets triggered in her. Probably is, I don't know, if it's that the person, she feels like they're hiding something from her, or that they are acting in a way that she's like, what's going on? So this is why she prepares herself with all her arsenal, and she's like, I'm coming to get you. Like, what are you doing? And it feels very impulsive, it feels very intense. But I think that she definitely needs the partner to collaborate with her. It's like, don't put me through this. Don't let me get to that level of impulsiveness. Don't let me get like this. Like refrain me first. Like help me. Reassure me, so I don't go to the extreme, so I don't hurt us or our bond. So this is why she wants collaboration. She wants collaboration because probably there's something that happens in the dynamic that she doesn't like, or that it triggers something in her that she gets very, very aggressive. She's like, I don't like this. And if she has a partner that is silent, it's worse. If she has a partner that doesn't talk, no, she's going to get very aggressive. She's going to get very aggressive because for me, at least, and I'm not an Aries, but for me, like also a partner that hides or that acts dumb, no, it's sort of like I go crazy, like I get more aggressive with people like that. It's like, I'm asking you a question, like, why don't you answer? Like, no. I knew it. She's done with those noisy dogs. Actually, I was curious. What do you think, guys? This is up to you. Should I pull cards for Yuta and Somi to see what kind of friendship they have? I'm curious. You guys tell me. I know. If Samara was here, she would be like, no, we don't. Samara is not happy with Yuta, and I understand her. I know, but we are chismosas, like Akira said. We are very gossipy. We are chismosas. We want to know. see, let's see. Wait that. Somi. Sorry guys, I pronounce horribly sometimes. Okay. Utah. Somi. Hmm. They collaborated in something. It could be NCT 127 and her, because from Utah's side we have the two of ones. We have the high. Oh, wait. Sorry. The high priestess. This is Utah's sign. He's like, stop messing with me. Stop pulling cards. And the Eight of Pentacles. From Somi's side, we have the Seven of Swords, Temperance, Queen of Swords. And the connection, we have the Ten of Wands and the Four of Pentacles. I think that they collaborated on something already. Like probably they have like maybe NCT 127. I know they had a TikTok, but probably they had worked together in something. So they know each other because they had collaborated. But from Utah's side, it's all because of work. If you see him, like he's looking at the horizon, he's sort of looking at it seems like it's very. It's like he looked at the horizon and he saw her and he's like, oh, there you are. Hey, but I think that, yeah, it was a moment. But yeah, then he continues working. So it's all very work related. And I think that also the High Priestess, definitely from Utah's side, I think that there's something about him also being like the High Priestess is very secretive, is like very, it's like he doesn't mind people speculating about what he does. Because I think that maybe because of everything that is going on around him energetically, he's sort of a bit distracted and probably he cannot wait to go back to work. Maybe when he was in there, he felt a bit emotional or he felt a bit like distracted emotionally, also maybe emotional because of the crowd. And then he saw her like also a feminine figure. There's something about her also very special, because I know she's a Pisces. So there's something about her, just her energy being very special. And he's sort of like illuminating the spot. I can sort of see Utah being very distracted or being very much like he cannot wait for time to pass. Maybe he actually didn't enjoy that much that whole experience, maybe because in his mind, maybe he's a bit affected, maybe he knows about, maybe what people are talking about, the controversy or what they think of him or whatever, and he is affected. So he's sort of like waiting. He wants time to pass quickly. He wants to, he's like, he's in that moment, but he's like thinking like, oh, I cannot wait for tomorrow to be over so I can go over here and do this that I have to do. But also he saw her, like a sort of like a figure, a feminine figure. And also there's something very special about her. Like she's not like here a female idol. We know that Utah usually don't interact that much with other idols. But there's something about her just being very different and just being very like a goddess, but not from a place of like, oh, beauty. It's from a place of wisdom. So maybe he saw her and he sort of like connected with her, and he was like, I'm going to go and say hi. Um, and he had this very beautiful connection. Maybe he resonates from the place of her. Maybe he knows about her, or they talked, or her being a soloist, or maybe the challenges that she has. Maybe they had talked, or he knows about her and her circumstances as well. So there's something about him being like, she's special. And then he go back to professional mode. Then he goes back to being focused on herself, on himself. So I think that, yeah, for him it was a great moment, but it wasn't like, oh, like we have a connection. I think that he needed that. I don't know if Utah was like, because I don't think so, because they were performing and they were very, very in tune, they were very in sync with each other. But could it be that he felt he was a bit isolated from the others? So it's like he was looking for a friendly face. I don't know. He was, when you're looking everywhere and you're like, oh, and you see someone that sort of represents this friendliness, this, like, and you're like, oh, hey, that probably if he was in a different mood, he wouldn't have acknowledged her. He would actually just ignore it. He would be like looking at the ground. He would be like, oh, yeah, well, let's go. Or he would be talking with the other members and just cannot wait to get off the stage. But in this case, he was sort of like looking up and sort of looking for a connection. I think that probably he's also feeling very misunderstood. There's something about him also maybe also reviewing his past actions, or he was very reflective. And I think that she was like this very special person, this very special energy. This is why he said hi to her, because it was like, oh, she's different. She's not just like a regular idol. She's different. Maybe he likes the way she talks, or the way she thinks, or the way, I think that he knows her, definitely. Well, Somi knows a lot of people, but definitely from a place of admiration. And from Somi, yeah, the Seven of Swords, the Temperance. Also, see, this is why I think that she has that quality of being very healing, being a healer, because there's something very healing about her. But at the same time, I think that she's also like, maybe it has to do with her sort of restricting herself from being surrounded by male idols. There's something about her just, being chill, but always from a distance. It's like, I wish I could talk to you more, but it feels awkward, because also the Seven of Swords, I can sort of see her trying to evade certain people. Maybe not Johnny. I don't know why I said Johnny. Maybe not Utah. Sorry, why did I say Johnny? Why did I say Johnny? Sorry, guys, I'm burned out already. Why did I say Johnny? Okay, well, it seems like she was evading someone. She was evading someone, and she was like, okay, yeah, this is great, this is cool. But then she's like, oh, hey, very open to communicate, very open. It's like, we connected. We had a moment like, this was great. But at the same time, she's also like very, she's also very focused on her future as well. But for her, it's like, I was evading someone, but then I found you. So it's like I had to greet you, because I already was like sort of evading certain people. So to compensate and to not look like I was being not polite, or that I was being rude, or disrespectful, because you know how people are. Sometimes people just from their POV, they are like, oh, she didn't say hi to these people, and these people did say hi to her. She didn't bow, and these people did bow, and the rookies, and the new ones, and the old ones, and, you know. So she's like, okay, sort of walking on eggshells. Okay, where do I look? Where do I go? But also very confident. She's a very confident person. It's like if you go and talk to her, she will talk to you in any language that you want. She's very intelligent, but at the same time, I think that she was like running away, not running away, but she was like evading someone, and all of a sudden she turned around and it was Utah in there, and she was like, oh, okay, something like that. But all from a place of like, yeah, great to see you. Really, it's great to see you. But yeah, the Ten of Wands, definitely the situation was very heavy for both of them. Was very, probably both of them are very tired, or both of them are sort of, you know, bearing or sort of putting up with a lot of BS or a lot of things in their personal life or in their careers that they are very fed up. They are very tired, not just physically, but also mentally, emotionally. But yeah, the security is like, you know, they had like a good moment. Also, they feel secure. It's like, you know, if I say hi to you, like I don't see you as a threat, you know, like actually we're cool. So probably they know each other, they have like a friendship. But yeah, definitely these are not the times where it's like, oh yeah, let's be buddies, or, you know, let's have something. No, I think that both of them are carrying a lot of weight on their shoulders on their own. So I don't think that they connected. Like, I think that it was an instant, that it was pleasant. It was magical, I would say, because both of them have these major arcanas of the High Priestess, and also, you know, she looks like an angel. You know, literally she looked like an angel. So she has these very healing properties. It's just that I think that for her, in this industry, it's really tough to use the healing properties when you sort of have to defend yourself all the time, or when you have to put certain boundaries and act a bit cold and detached and assertive, because otherwise people would run you over. So, you know, it's tough to be her, but she's definitely very special. Her energy feels very special. Oh, my God. I don't know. I have to rewatch it. I don't know how. Oh, thank you, Katie. Thank you, Katie. Oh. I was like, why Johnny? And I was like, because I don't know. I wasn't thinking of Johnny. I was like, why Johnny? Like, out of all the members, like. Oh, this was fun, guys. This was fun. Sorry, guys, that I wasn't engaging much in the chat while I'm pulling cards, because I get distracted. If I look at if I look at the comments, I get distracted and I cannot advance. So that's why I sometimes I want to keep going, because otherwise I get stuck in the comments and I don't advance. Yeah. Thank you guys for being here. Yeah, on Saturday I'm going to be reading for Leo idols or artists. So I'm going to create a post in the community post, so you can leave your recommendations, guys. So it's going to be dedicated to the Leo artist, okay? So yeah, we're going to do this. Yeah, thank you so much, guys, for being here. Thank you so much for being with me and for all your recommendations. Have a lovely week. Bye.